another edition of the one-on-one with the CEO. It's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. It's 80 minutes on the flip side of 8 o'clock, and we sorry for coming on late today. We have some technical glitches, but it's something that we are working on. We are sorting that out in the soonest possible time. Well, welcome to it. This is the one-on-one with the CEO, and of course, in as soon as possible time, the CEO and September will be on to begin the show this evening. The guest is Emmanuel Bonkoy of the EFFL, who's right here with us in studio. But folks, before we begin the show, as usual, we will open up the lines so that you can call in and tell us what's on your minds. My name is Yekezi Zobel. I'm your producer tonight until later. So shortly we open up the lines so that you can call in and tell us exactly what's on your minds. What have you got to say about some of the trending national issues in Liberia? But just to apprise you of some of those trending national issues. So there's a press statement from the executive mansion. As you may know, the president is currently in Accra, Ghana, on a 2-day visit. And he had met with his Ghanaian counterpart, President Ado, to discuss sub-regional security and bilateral cooperation. And the executive mansion has released a statement to that effect. I believe the CEO and his team will be delving into that statement. So let's not preempt what they will be discussing. But also, we've got report of 2 alleged motorbike roads who were fleeing with a bag, then killed by angry crowd at the 72nd junction after being chased by other bikers. Yeah. So 2 motorbike roads running away with a stolen motorbike were chased by other bikers, motorcyclists, and they were caught at the 72nd junction, and reportedly they were killed. A very terrible news. All right. Violence. Why it's true that they didn't have the right to, steal other people's motorbike or other people's properties. But the issue of mob violence is something that, cannot be supported in any way. All right. And also the movement for progressive change, the MPC, has strongly condemned President Joseph Boaka's statement. Recent statement made in Lofa County, and warns against endorsing corruption. So I believe the CEO and his team of panelists will also delve into that here today on the show. So like I say, I don't want to preempt some of the things that will be discussed here today. But folks, those are some of the trending issues. You want to call us on 0777 771 0775 0775 101075. And we want to apologize to you earlier, for the silence or the break-in you encountered. Like I said, we have some technical glitches here that we are still working on. But so far so good. I think is a bit okay for us to move on. So we take a few calls. Call us on 0777 771 0775 0777 101075 101075 are the numbers to put you through this evening on the 101 with the CEO and Abdullah Katamba. Let's go to the lines and talk to this first person. Good evening, your name and where you join us from.
I'm Gaba calling from the Boys Town area.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, actually, my concern had to do with the recent request from a Muslim student. Yeah, yeah, been in my mind. For me, I really want for. I don't know how the government will take it, but I think it's much preferable that the government come up with a referendum to decide which type of country will belong to because the idea of the secular state it will cause future embarrassment because it has started during the past regime where the imam said that sometime around the same time we will be having our own holiday. So once we come to that of having referendum and we know which state we belong to, I think it would be much preferable. That's why my mind is.
Referendum. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling. Thanks for making your
Okay.
point. Let's talk to another person here. Hello, your name and where you join us from? Hello, hello, are you there? Okay, let's talk to another person. Oh my God! Please lower the volume of your radio before calling us. Let's talk to this other person. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from?
This is Brother Timley. I'm calling from Nambustan.
Okay,
Yeah, the area.
let's hear you from
My
Nangwes
attention
town.
has been drawn to that motorcycle, that motorbike rule.
Mm.
Because what I seen it was on the 18th, which was on Wednesday, and I seen it was they stole my motorbike. A criminal that jumped on me, they fire two times in the air. Then they beat me with bell by that corner. So at that motorbike road, then who can kill them?
Oh no,
Yeah.
we don't support violence here. I think we have the police. If you have such a case, you want to take it to the police and let the police do their work. All right. So we wouldn't support mob violence. So let's talk to another person here. Good evening.
Good evening, Markland.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. It's not about supporting violence or not supporting violence. I thought the program is what's on your mind. We are speaking what's on our mind.
Okay,
Anything we will be,
that's yeah,
anything will be held in. Hello?
yeah, that's what's on your mind. But I'm telling you that we don't support violence. So you don't call on the radio and you start you try to instigate or incite people to go into violent act. So we wouldn't tolerate that. Thank you.
Yeah, but
Let's talk to another person. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Mohammed Tulum calling from Red Light.
Okay, Mohammed, go ahead.
Yeah, what's on my mind is my advice to Boom Breaker. Only appealing to him what it our papi. Oh.
Oh, boom breaker.
Boom Breaker, week, issue the issue sometimes. May papi was I beg you. I only appealing to him what it our papi. Oh, sometimes some issue there. What we discuss it behind the scene.
Okay. Boom breaker.
If somebody knows to be advising the papi because it's like papi too, I already know. Because we were expecting things, I happening, but it's matter of time. I
Okay.
know.
Thank
the
you.
problem too much.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Boom breaker listening to you. He's listening.
All right.
All right. Let's talk to another person here. Good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my dear Daniel enemy.
Daniel, go ahead. Daniel, your line is breaking up. Okay, Daniel, just do some adjustment and call us back. Let's hear from this person. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Your name and where you join us from?
My name is Alan. Yeah, I'm calling from Babylon country.
Aris Bapulu.
Yeah, Babylon cold this evening.
Are you listening to us by way of radio or through the Spawn TV Live?
I'm listening to radio.
Okay, by way of radio. That's good. How's the signal there?
Yeah, I hope it's fine.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I just want to say a big shout out to my president. This is my brother. I wish you a good health. Yes, I want to speak. I just want to say this to the CEO, Central Hospital. When you talk to our president, I don't really like it.
Okay.
Yeah, the time we still continue now. Not very safe. And everything that the president is doing, you just keep going at any time, Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for calling, huh?
All right.
Okay, let's talk to another person. Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. Let's hear you.
Okay, my name is Hamid Joe. Zero.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, my concern have to do with the panelists on the one-on-one.
The panelist on the 101.
Yeah. You
What's wrong
see,
with the
I
panelist?
love, I love, I love the show one-on-one, but sometimes the Captain Man.
Hello, are you there? Oh my God. Let's quickly present before Jordan, the CEO. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you join us from?
I'm calling from Maggie County.
Okay, ours Magdibi County.
Maggie County. Good, fine.
Let's hear you. Let's hear you.
Okay. I want to say thank you to the President of the Republic of Liberia for the peace and stability that he maintained. Also, I want to call on the CEO to continue to checkmate the government, but not to continue to criticize in that manner. Yeah, even though he brought the
But you
government to power,
checkmate the government without criticizing.
yeah, he brought the government to power, but it's so doing there are some things you can tell behind the scene, not to bring it to the public.
Oh,
Because
okay.
at the end of the day, the CEO may have in other areas and we can come in and support him. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
that's
Thank
what
you.
on my mind.
Thanks for calling. The CEO is on the show. CEO, good evening and welcome.
Yes, I'm here to say. Are we
I think
okay? Are we good?
yeah, it should be good now.
Yeah, it feels a CEO, but I should criticize, right? I should hold the government feet to the fire. But then, that guess what, you can see?
What?
Like, I shouldn't do it too high. I
Yeah, you
shouldn't
shouldn't
do
do
it
it too
too much. I'm gonna do it small.
You do buckle up.
But I love the quarters though. I want to say thanks to them. They I think the Liberian people understanding where we're coming from, and I do. I seriously, I appreciate all of the call-ins because it's important for us to know that we can criticize and the people can accept. We need changes in the country, and listen to the folks today. That it's a good thing. They put love the government, they love Joseph Waka, and they love me. So they'll balance it out. This time I will do it small. You can say I will do it small. I will do. Listen, I usually do that 3 or 5, right? But I'm gonna do only one, just one a day, just one time, just once a day. That's it, one time a day. I will not do it 3 times, 4 times. It hurt the people when I put everything up, So I'll do it small. And maybe
Okay.
that's what I want. You can see, maybe that's what I want. What do you think?
Yeah, the people say you shouldn't. Like the previous caller, he said you should checkmate the government, but you shouldn't criticize. So I don't know how you checkmate without criticizing.
I don't know, but I would try. Listen, I would checkmate the government. That's correct, and I would not criticize the government. But again, guys, we open the show to everyone, though. You just know that we open the show to everyone. You can come and say your own, right? The government is doing some good things, but we want to see it, and we want to hear it. And that's why starting tomorrow, Mo Ali will be on the show to be telling us some of the good things. But if Mo Ali live, we're chasing. Yeah, yeah. The more I start playing that game, we're chasing. Because the Liberian people tired with the guys that playing games. So Steven Johnson said he's coming on, and the rest of the guys said they're coming on. They got to show us what this government is doing. And it's only fair for them to do that. I cannot, I'm not a government spokesman. Where is Jeremy Pierre? You can see. Jeremy Pierre is MIA.
Yeah,
The man hiding. He can't say anything. Because anything Jeremy says is bad. So he just said, you know what? I'm going to keep quiet. I ain't going to say anything. They are not giving Jeremy Pierre the information. Anything he says is bad. They're trying. But the Liberian people, they love the network. They love Spoon Network. So they come to, and I will listen to you guys. If I find 3 bad things, I will discuss only one. We'll keep the other one for next week. Every day, that's what we do. We'll discuss one bad thing. But you know what? help us to find some of the good things. Help us. Just let us know. Before I came on the show, we got this for the 8-year-old man rape a 4-year-old girl. The bad thing, should I talk about it again? I will make it very again. You know, before I came on the show, the chief and elders wrote me a letter and begged me and said I should talk to the government because they have not taken pay since this year. Yeah, guys, should I talk about it or this that bad thing? I shouldn't talk about it.
It's something that worth talking about.
Before I came on the show, you have Bill Magate Jones lie on Spoon talk here that he didn't even know his own brother, Ralph and Uriah. He said he didn't, they are not related. He never met them before, but he giving them contract. Should I talk about that one? Yeah, guys, or I'm gonna be quiet. I mean,
It needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about.
I'm gonna list everything. Should I talk about it? So tell me some of the good things this government is doing. President Bouaka went to Ghana, but yes, the bad thing. He took private jet to Ghana. So I shouldn't talk about the private jet. I'm only talking about the president in Ghana, right? Okay. So I don't know what you guys want me to do. Should I be quiet or I should talk it? I'm gonna ask you today. If you say Stanton, call me Stanton, don't call me CEO. Madam Titi is the CEO. Call me Stanton. If you say Stanton, be quiet, I will be quiet. Call me Stanton or call me Spoon. Don't call me CEO. Just say Spoon or Stanton. If you say Spoon be quiet or Stanton be quiet, I will be quiet. I won't say anything. The whole week, I'm going to excuse myself the whole week. So we'll take 10 calls. If you want me to be quiet and be off the show the whole week, just let me know. And I will now say, what? I will get a show to your Unity Party people and the CDC people. Y'all come every day. I will not even be on the show. So therefore, I'm serious. You know what? I'm going to bring Emmanuel Gongo on. Bring Emmanuel on. Let him be my witness. Bring him on. Before we even start the show, Mame coming, Clinton is coming, and Yaka Kodoba is coming tonight. And bring Emmanuel on. And let Emmanuel be my witness today. And I will say to everybody and all of you, I will take 10 calls. If you don't want me on the show this week, just as CEO, don't be on the show this week. And I will close my mouth, zip. I will zip it. You will not hear a friend from me. I mean, even the person I'm going to talk small. You listen to the chorus? You listen to that? I'm going to talk small. I'm going to talk plenty. Even, what's going on here? Let's see you. Talk small, don't talk plenty. So I promise you, even before you say anything, we're going to take 10 calls. If the 10, no, we'll make it 11 to balance it up because I don't want 5-5, right? I want 6 and 5. Or somebody said we'll make it 15. 15 is good. 15 calls. Should I stay on or should I go? Yakansi, please take your pen and paper. Let's take the score. Random call. Go ahead. All from Liberia. Nothing from outside of Liberia. If you don't want me on this week, I'm not getting anything from online because the people can see it. Let me hear you. If you don't want me on this week, starting today, the 29th of December, just as CEO, go take a rest. Don't come on. Yakansi, go ahead.
Okay, 0777
I'm tired. Email. I'm tired right now. I'm tired. If you don't want me on, I'll take 1 week off. You can see go ahead.
0555101075. Okay, let's talk to this first person. Hello.
Yeah, this is Rufus.
Rufus, yes or no? You want to see you on or not?
We the crew don't know how to gather. Let's see you keep being on. But see you coming up, go and best anybody today. We haven't here.
Okay, that one is a discussion for another day. Thank you.
Friday, Tatia Quad.
Yeah, you my friend. So the message on or off?
The message on.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we talk calling from Bonaparte.
Okay, let's hear you. On or off?
Yeah, brother. If you drink good thing, people not criticize you, you will not focus. Anything you do only start people to criticize you. Let a man be on. Let it put pressure on the government to change.
Okay. Okay, somebody says on. Let's talk to another person. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, on or off?
Oh.
On, okay. Let's talk to another person. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, on or off? On, okay.
Every day, please.
Okay. Let's talk to another person here. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Let's hear you. On or off?
My name is 27 Thomas. I call from Chocolate City.
Yeah, please.
CEO really on. CEO can really electrify the show. CEO is not on the show. Honestly, I can't listen to the show. So CEO, please be on the show.
Okay. See you. The guy say you LEC. Yeah, you can bring that to the show. Okay, let's talk to another person. Hello? Hello? Okay, we missed that caller. Let's talk to this person. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Yeah, your name?
Mama, you to a conservative over.
Mary on or off?
Pero duero ba tipo ape duero ape godo be ya toto ape the two now is Korea one and I'm so I feel but I beg I thought that I
You
beg
guys get it on my number. I beg you get it on my number. I know what you're talking about. That we can talk off air.
Oma? Mary?
Yeah,
Let's get your number, then we can talk to you off air, yeah?
tama number now.
Call in now because there are other calls coming so I can see it.
Yeah, 0705.
0775. Hello? Mary? Oh, I mean, she's up the phone. I don't know.
Try to get her number. I know she.
Yes, Mary,
Yeah,
call your number again.
0705.
Mm-hmm.
1971
71
62.
62. Okay, we'll call you off the air, yeah? Thank you. Okay, thank you, man. We'll call you off the radio. Let's talk to another person here. Hello?
This is Pat here, and I call from Ghana.
Okay.
My frequency, my whole radio, I get my frequency, get on screen. Only for the CEO to talk. So get the CEO stay on, my brother.
Okay, on. Let's talk to another person here. Hello? Hello? Good evening. Let's hear you. Your name?
I'm Victor D. I call from the old road.
Okay, Victor, on or off?
I want him to be on because he didn't want to raise the devil. So he want to make sure that the devil works. So let him stay on.
Okay.
All right.
Let's talk to another person here. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm hearing myself in the back.
Yeah.
I'll just shut down the radio. Are you there? Okay, let's talk to another person. Hello?
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening, let's hear you. On or off?
Yeah, this is Solomon, though. I'm calling from the Oro, Tuba. Yeah, that CEO remain on. That CEO remain on and give the information out.
Okay.
So we will not be, we shouldn't be there for why CEO should go out of the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you can see that's it. You can see we got 8 out of 15, so it made a majority. It made a majority carry, right? 8 out of 15. So
everybody saying on. Everybody, there's no no.
There's no no. So it means that folks. So it means I'm here to stay. I'm going to stay on because you guys say I should stay on. The day you're ready for me to get out, let me know. I will get out. But the only thing we can do, right? Iman, welcome to the show. Kev Hassan, it's good to have you, my brother. We're going to be having a wonderful show today. We have Clinton, the lawyer, Councillor Clinton is coming on. Abula Mame will be joining us. Yeke Koduba is joining us from Ghana. We're going to be having a great show today. We want to say Ketama is off. He attended a wedding, and we bless God for that wedding. We hope it goes well. We want to say again, it's good to have you. Every one of you that say I should stay on, I appreciate you. And those of you that want me off because you're a seditious, I know you. When I see this, you want me off. Amen. When I see this, I'm not even looking at Kevin Hassan. When I see this, you want me off. Why do you think so, Amen? Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you, CEO. Thank you for the invite. Kat Hassan, let me say, how you doing, my dear brother? We're always fighting on the show. I hope now we are not going to fight.
No, we're not.
I hope now we are not going to fight. But I mean, CEO, it's good to be back on. This is, I think, 1 year, a few months since I left Spawn. But I'm happy to be back.
It's always good having you, email from EFFL. You're the president, Emmanuel Gonkwe. It was good to have you. I don't know. I can say Pabwa or I can say Ma. Which one?
You want to say Ingio or you want to say Imano? Bavu.
Okay, I don't want that. Jay-Z is teaching me, so I don't know which one I will say now.
I'm Imano. Now I can say Bavu. I'll say Ituo.
Oh, Ituo. Okay. All right. It's good to have you. Kev Ahmed Hassan. How you doing, my brother? You muted, my man.
Oh, I'm doing great. Hanging in there. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, we want to welcome every one of you. Abraham Neal, James Davis, Yasa, Matt, Fred, Kamtu, Bill Carlson, as always, James, David, again, Blama Kamara, Vita Fayad, George Cabo, Sakoya Kamano, welcome. I think it's Sarah Pape. I think so. I think I know his daughter, if I'm right. Jed Nathaniel Moba, Wheels Word, Melvin K. Now, Ma Marie, we got your number. We'll call you. We'll get in contact with you, Ma Marie. I know your story. I know that your son in Korea, they got jail under the former government, George Banaway government, and George Banaway kept them there. So we discuss Ma Marie and see what Sarah best loyalty, what they have done so far. The foreign minister, Sarah best loyalty, I'm going to call her personally when I speak to you, and we want to get some information as to what they are doing to help bring our brothers home. Thus far, the difficulties and what they went through, just understand we should put some things in place to bring them home. Emmanuel, it's good to have you, man. This is like the year-end review. Whoa, the last Sunday in this year. Can you imagine? It's over, Emmanuel. Kev Hassan is over, the last Sunday. Next week, Sunday will be a brand new year. It will be the first Sunday of the year. So I hope you just chill. Somebody says CEO volume. What about my volume? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you very, very loud.
Yeah, I think that person got to increase the radio volume.
You need to check that device.
Yeah. I know LTA harmonizing your data, but manage it somehow, okay? All right. So it's good to have every one of you. Let's get into the conversation. What's on your mind? I will start with Kev Hassan. What's on your mind, brother Hassan? As always, we've been here up and down. You know, it wasn't a good year for you, Kev. On the 22nd of January, 12:01 p.m., here comes President Joseph Yeman Barker. I do solemnly swear that I will uphold and protect and defend the Constitution. There goes George Manawia. C'est fini. Barker took over. Brand new year. Brand new president. Brand new everything. I remember Kev Hassan was crying like a baby. The date of the inauguration. They had to take Kev Hassan to the emergency ward. People asked Center, why do you bring Kev Hassan back? Listen, if he's a brother, he's a friend, I had to bring him back. As this guy was going, they were taking him to the hospital every day. His pressure was going up high. And the first day Kev Hassan came on the show, can you put up the famous picture when you were all gray looking like? You can see funny. And everybody says, stand up, thank you for redeeming Kev. But Kev, from that day to today, you are still hurt. But it is what it is. Election have consequences. You got to go through this for 5 years again. Another 5 years coming up, Kev. The Unity Party said they are doing better. What you say, Kev? What's on your mind? You back on Spoon, one-on-one with the CEO. What's going on here? I know you recalibrating, you rethinking. Something is bringing through your mind, but Joe is not coming back. He got to sit for 5 years. And if you agree with me, my fellow Liberians, sit at home. That's the Constitution. Joe Will get 5 more years to even get close to the executive mansion if God even bless him. 5 more years. If this government, Emmanuel, proceed accordingly, but what the people want, it means that Joel will never come back to power. Because the next 6 years again after 2029, it's a wrap. So we are here to have some serious conversation today. The good, the bad, and the ugly within the first year. Kev Hassan, talk to me. Hey, again, my sympathy of Kev Hassan is gone. Joseph Baga is the president. Talk to me.
Well, let me say hi to everybody. Emmanuel, hi to you, my brother. Um, the last time we met at Boulevard. And but let me say this. Stanton, you're quite correct. Um, the day President Weah were calling Joseph Iman Buckeye to concede, I was in the room. I sat there. I was there. And you correct. I cried. I did. The reason why I cried is because I felt sorry for my country. The country that I love so much, because I knew where we were heading to. I knew we were heading to a place that the Liberian elect a president was going to rule by decree. By decree. The constitution were going to be suspended. I knew that. Yes, I cried. I cried because our education of higher learning, the UL, will be closed. Yes, I cried. I cried because I know that our speaker, our constitution will never be the same as what we're saying about our speaker. Yes, I cried. I cried our country will be going back to the dark days. Yes, I cried. It hurtful. I see my brother Emmanuel Gongwa with a man with a heart of gold, that he meant business, he meant serious, he loved his nation. But I also saw a man who will be fooled by a political schemers like JMB. Fool a young man, strong man who loved his country, but were fooled by scam. He went into Jose Iman Bukai, called him, and he thought he was going to, bring economic freedom to his nation. But what Jose Iman Bukai had, Crispy, was taking $500 million for his own personal use. Yes. I don't think, Emmanuel Gongwa, that's what you fought for. Abdullah Kamara LTA, millions. I don't think that's what you fought for. Yes, I cried. I weep for my nation. But the last thing I would say, let me don't go into weeping there by night, but joy cometh in the morning. I rest for now.
So, Kev, thank you very much. Emmanuel Gongwe, one thing Kev didn't say, folks, we warming up, right? We warming up. The actual reason Kev cried, I will let you know. I'll put you on something very important. The actual reason, after all the dancing that this brother Kev has done crying, you know what? What do you think Kev will crying? Emmanuel, let me hear you. I got a surprise for Kev. This is a year in review. Kev, main reason that he cried. I want to share the main reason with you tonight. Emmanuel, talk to us.
I listened to my brother Kev. Like he said, Boaka coming to power, he cried because Joshua was leaving and Boaka was going to suspend the constitution. I think no one has suspended the constitution. I think the president has not suspended the constitution. I acknowledge the fact that we have problems in the first 1 year of the government. I know that there are mistakes that should not be made, that we should not encourage, that have been made. I know that decision that should have been taken has not been taken. I know that people are carrying too much excesses that it should not. But at the same time, there's hope in the future. So I don't think the Constitution has been suspended, like Kevin want to say. In CDC too, the Constitution has been suspended. Do you know what it means for the Constitution of the country to be suspended? Yes, we may have issues, differences from different branches of the government, but that does not equate to Constitution being suspended. And I think my brother just want to overemphasize, the whole issue of Constitution being suspended. But I think, CEO, you and your team, you continue to hold this government feet to the fire. You guys continue to do good for the country. Like I said in my intro, there are mistakes that we should not allow. There are decisions that should have been taken that up to now we cannot as a government. I think, my hope is that in 2025, the government will do better than we are doing right now. The government is not doing what I think the people of Liberia wanted to see to some extent. And I think in 2025, the government should do better. This year was more like a rehearsal year. This year was about redesigning the government architecture, the mistakes of the CDC, correcting the mistakes of the CDC. You can play emphasis on that. You can say the government were more like concerned, redesigning the government architecture of the state. So yes, in that process there could be a lot of mistakes, and there were a lot of mistakes. So it is my hope that in the future, 2025, the government will redirect the energy toward doing things that the Liberian people want. I think it's too very early, for people who supported the government to begin to have a kind of discomfort in the performances of the government. So we are hoping for a better future. There were a lot of mysteries, in the first year, but I think we can fix that, and we can have a government that will live up to the commitments, that brought them to power.
Emmanuel Gongwe, thank you. And there come Mambe. Mambe is joining us. We want to say thank you very much, Eman. Mambe, welcome to the show. It's always good having you. Again, like I said, we are here, Mambe, to discuss the issue, like an overview on this one-on-one. The beautiful show, by the way. We actually please share this program. We're going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Before Mommy comes in, he kept saying, I cried. But couple of reasons why I kept crying. There's no more 25,000 check going, okay? I want us to keep, I myself want to cry. Every month, $25,000 check. I myself want to cry. There's so many reasons I kept crying. And I'm going to show you everything. I did a slideshow on it. I'm going to share with you. But one of the main reasons I want you to go before I bring Mama in, he cried because I leave you with the first one. I about to show you that check from Bank of America, the 25,000 check from Bank of America that Kev was receiving every month. Will you not cry? If you know that your government is living power, will you not cry? Seriously, this is a year in review, so we just got to say as it is, no hard feeling. Mama, welcome to the show. And we're getting to other substance, the good about the government, what the government have achieved, the bad, and the ugly. And what are you going to expect 2025, your expectation? Then we will ask you. We'll share the link. You will come in and tell us what you expect Joseph Boakai to do better in 2025. Mama, let's hear you. Welcome.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Konkwe, Emmanuel, long time. Kef, Yekezi, it's good to be on. When we talk about the government and the year in review, I would really like us to emphasize on the three branches of government. Combined, they direct the future of the country. What's happening in the legislature, the decisions they're making, the actions they're taking, has consequences on the country. The executive, the same thing, the judiciary, the same thing. So if you got your talking points, if you want to highlight that, what you expect in the future from those three branches of government will be very important. There's a tendency in Liberia where we pay so much attention on the executive and forget about the other two branches of government. They feel relaxed. They feel there's no need for reform. They don't feel accountable until probably it is election time. So I want to highlight that. But when I was coming on, I heard Kev talk about LTA and the Abdullah Kamara. But he's not alone. The leaders of the CDC, they emphasize this LTA. We just wanted to remind them that what we are holding Abdullah Kamara on and asking the president to take action was a decision of President Weah to give a contract to a company outside of competitive bidding. He instructed Edwina Zakpa. Edwina said it on TV. I got a video. She said she just gave it to them because the president of it wrote her and said she should give it to them. She said that. It is on that basis calling on the president to take action. She also said that it was just the president's instruction to also award another hundreds of thousands of dollars contract to another company. And the company presented no plan, open an account and deposited government money there because the president says so. So when we're talking about Abdullah Kamara and LTA, I just want to remind them because they say it, even forgetting that this was an action their leader took, that we putting pressure on Joseph Boakai to correct. You meet at center.
Yeah, Mama, thank you very much. Thank you. Again, yeah, we are. I think you raised a good point because everybody beat you on the LTA, right? Everybody beat you on Abdul Kamara, and we all most people agree that Abdullah should go. Most people agree. Make no mistake. I don't know what you say on that. I never heard you speaking about this LTA saga email. Let me hear you first. And let's get into some serious conversation here because this is here in review. We're here for only 2 hours. By 11 o'clock, email will be out of the studio. By 6 o'clock, we'll be out of here. What time it is right now? 4 o'clock, which is 9 o'clock in Liberia. So email, Abdullah Kamara, goodbye or ugly? Let's get into it. Then we'll come to this. Then we'll come to the three branches.
Like Mame said, most of the decisions at LTA started with the CDC administration. I said in my intro what this government tried. Remember, I said earlier, what the government trying to do in the first year or has tried to do in its first year is to redesign the governance architecture of the state because of the way the CDC proceeded in most of the decisions, including contracts that they awarded to individuals. So the mistakes of the CDC is what this administration is trying to correct. But whatever we criticize during our journey to power, whatever we criticize during our journey to power, that is repeating in this. So if Abdullah committed, or was involved in the audit of LTA or whatever contract at LTA that is implicating Abdullah Kamara, he's my friend, that is implicating him into any corruption report, then Abdullah will have to go because we use audit report to remove the previous commissioners at LTA. So if Abdullah Kamara, who is my dear friend and brother, is implicated in audit report, then he should not be exempted, from whatever decision we took, for which he is today the acting commissioner of LTA. I'm clear on that one.
Kev, let me hear you. Some Mami brought this conversation up. Just the Abdullah Kamara. I mean, let's hear where you are. It started from CDC, then what?
Abdullah Kamara will never leave the LTA because it's just a human Bokai interest. Don't be a fool. Do not be a fool. He will never. The problem with folks who support Jose Iman Bokai or believe that Jose Iman Bokai is an integrity icon is being fooled by the way he presents himself. Abdullah Kamara will never leave the LTA. That his in our local language we call it Pepe Bush. That his Pepe Bush. He will never forget it. You're wasting your time. So if you guys will come here and call Abdullah Kamara day and night and every day, Abdullah Kamara will be there. Matter of fact, Abdullah Kamara is boasting around to folks and say, "You leave those guys, they're talking plenty. They know where the papi and I come from." Because Abdullah Kamara used that funds to sponsor the campaign. So he will not leave. He's not going to leave. The same thing with NASCAR. What happened with the with the NASCAR money, right? The Grisby, the only reason if Grisby want to leave, it will be on his own. Now the papi would say, Grisby, I don't want you. Because once it's in the interest of Joseph Yuban Bokai, you are free. You are free. You can do just about anything. You can walk, you can do anything. Imam Gongwa, if you do anything right now in the interest of Joseph Yuban Bokai, you walk free. That's the way it is. So anybody who talk about Abdullah Kamara, you're wasting your time.
So let's go back to the agreement Emmanuel Gongwe and Abdullah is making. He was a rollover. Can you argue that the money that with GSC accusing Agida of the allegation, the audit report, it came from CDC government, it came from CDC time. Don't skip that.
If that was CDC time, right, as you're saying, it was in the interest of CDC. Just say Imam Bakar should prosecute him and let him and leave. Why is he keeping him there? You guys need to be smart. You guys need to be smart. Why is he keeping him there? Because
I mean, the only difference here, the only difference, and the public continue to see it is this is a regime type where loyalists and supporters of, and that's why giving the Liberian people hope, where loyalists of the regime can question decisions speak out and call for change. That's why the people beginning to gain hope and say, this thing looks different. It's like something will happen for us, even though it's not happening now. They see another group of people, even while they are outside government, they cannot say the truth to somebody they consider God. The Edwina Zagba sat on the show and said, I received instruction from the president. It's public. And you ask me, say, if you'll see. It's not if we see. These people refuse to declare asset. Even after President Weah left and Spoon put out his asset, his surrogate in the legislature summoned LACC to the legislature to say why you put the president asset outside. All these things that Liberian people are seeing, in as much as they don't have bread and butter on their table, but they are getting hope that something different is happening. Let's give it a chance. Because in the past, and even now, the people who were here, they said nothing, and even after they are out, they cannot admit. That's why people are getting hope in Joe Baka administration, even though we're not taking action in the case of the LTE. There should have been a bold, clear action on day one. But Joe Baka has not taken action. But even though he has not taken action, you're talking. Other people talking. More Ali, other people saying it. So the ordinary people saying, it looks like this government has something to offer. Because internally, they can push their leader. That's the difference.
But the problem is...
Hold on. Let's do what we do. I beg you. I just write your own down because I think Mama is coming from somewhere with the fact that, listen, we are not saying that this government is perfect, right, Gongo, Emmanuel? We are saying that we will talk, and there's a hope, and we believe that President Bwaka will take action. And Mama began to outline LRC. I mean, with that, the pressure came down. The president listened, and we can go down the line. But then, Eman, you in Liberia, you know the terrain. What will you say in comparison when it comes to George Weah?
No, listen, you cannot compare George Weah to Bwaka. I mean, there's a mismatch in terms of leadership. In terms of the value of the presidency, it's a mismatch. During the Weah administrations, Those who holding us accountable today to come on the radio and speak about what is happening in the government, they could not do that in the weird administration. No one assistant minister or director in government could sit on any platform to criticize the George Weah administration. Nobody could have done that. And nobody did that. In this government,
Nobody,
nobody did
nobody
that.
did.
Nobody did that. In this government, we can go on Facebook, we can talk our thing in-house, we can come outside on Facebook and say some of the things we dislike, and we can criticize one another. In the morning, we are moving on because the reason why we're criticizing one another is because we want to give the Liberian people hope. We want to give them the leadership that they campaign for. They campaign for the control government. They campaign for a leadership that will listen. So we have to do that every single day so that we give them hope. Like Abdullah Mahmoud said, we are giving the people hope. The same reason to believe that there is a future. That's what I said initially, that this year was a year of mystery and hope. So we have mysteries and then we have hope. There's hope that the government will perform in the future, giving a signal that we can put the president under pressure and he can listen. When I issued a statement against Amin Mudar, for example, when Amin Mudar was involved in the situation, the EFF issued a statement, he called me. And we had a conversation. I said, Minister, this is beyond you. This is about Liberia. What we promised the Liberian people during the elections, we are on no obligation to guard the president to succeed in that. Anything less than that, the president will become unpopular, and all of us who champion the president cause to the presidency will also become unpopular. If the president succeeds, individually we all share in the glory of the president's success. If the president underperforms, we individually as well share in the failure of the president. So it is in our best interest to do what we ought to do to guide the president to success. I feel sorry for him, but we needed to do what we did as an institution to speak out to the involvement of the former minister. How many collaborating political party during the regime of the CDC could stand up to any minister and challenge the minister? How many? Nobody could do that. The attempt Aristotle made to even question the decision of the CDC when they were in power, they ran him out of CDC. They ran him out. Nobody could.
Man, let me see. Let me see if I hear you right though.
No, stand on.
We're coming to you, Kev. We're coming to you. I beg you.
Yeah, I don't want to follow you tonight. I won't follow you.
No, let's have some. I like the way we're going, and folks, please share the show. Invite somebody. I think we're having a very decent, quiet show. Let me hear you. You said nobody for 6 years spoke against George Weah.
Yeah, one stick on that nobody. So you bring one example or don't qualify your statement, my man. Yeah, one stick on that nobody.
That's why I want to ask my that's why I want to ask my question. I don't want this to be diluted. No, stand on. I don't want this to be diluted.
No, but let me make clear. Go ahead, man.
Let me say this. When we say nobody, we're looking at the aggregate. We're looking at the aggregate. So we say nobody. Because a lot of people could not do it, nobody did it. But in this administration, you find ministers disagreeing with one another. You find managing director disagreeing with one another. You find opposition, aligned political party members disagreeing with one another. Just a few days ago, I gave you the example. You think when we asked our chairman of our party to resign his position as chairman of EFFL, to remain focused on, you think the United Party folks like that decision? You think the MDR folks like that decision? They are in court. But we decided that we're going to respect the president's decision because the decision of the president to have established the ombudsman needed to have been respected by all parties. You think that decision is going down well with other political parties, but that is a maturity of the government we find ourselves in. Will you do that in the
Thank you. And I think you make yourself very clear. Let me hear Kev. Welcome, Governor Clinton. Councilor Clinton, welcome to the show. I think I got 2 for 2 on the set tonight. It will be very interesting. Kev, your response to Mame and Iman.
It's very simple. Imam Gongwa, I'm a simple man. I love simple answer. Name me one minister, BE, minister proper, assistant, deputy, that criticizes government and still in there.
I should name you one. You know how many times Mo Ali have? You know how many times?
No, Mo Ali never.
Mo
No,
Ali is a.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I'm not telling you. No, I'm asking
He
you.
said one, and I call one.
No, Mo Ali is not. No, listen, Mo Ali is not a minister. I'm asking you.
I said minister, managing director.
No, stop, my brother. Name me one minister, assistant minister, deputy minister that criticized government is still there. Just name
That's
me
what
one.
I said. I
I'm
qualify.
not talking about director. Name me one.
I qualify my statement. I said internally we criticize one another and we move forward. So we do that. Mo Ali. So he asked me for the example, and I said Mo Ali, managing director. Go back and replay. I said managing director. So Mo Ali is the managing director.
Let's go to Mo
Ali. Is he not a managing director?
But where has Mo Ali criticized?
That's not going to Clinton. I always tell you, wait, Clinton. When Mo Ali criticized, name me the incident or whatever Mo Ali criticized.
Yes.
Let's go slow, Clinton. Let the man explain what Mo Ali criticized.
I'm not going to start from Genesis to Revelation. Revelation.
Yeah, I agree. Let's name me one.
Most. I'm not yet to pick point.
Yeah, I agree. But number one,
he's one of the government officials that will come on the radio and say, "Yes, we're making progress. Yes, we have challenges." During your administration,
name me one criticism.
Everything was about progress.
Everything
was progress. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. You said I should name one person. I name one person. So I can't
name one. You name Mo Ali. So tell me what Mo Ali criticized.
I said to you, I am not here to fight you tonight.
We're not fighting, my brother.
Let's take it for the example, and I gave you the example. That's all I can do.
Yeah, but just name me. Just name me what Mo Ali criticized. Name me what Mo Ali criticized.
I can qualify the statement. You requested an example, and I gave you the example.
Kev, one at a time, Kev. Let's talk one at a time, please. It will only be fair. So go ahead. What was the next argument? Want to bring in Clinton?
I'm asking him to name me, either him or Abdullah Mami to name me. He said Mo Ali criticized this government. I want them to bring me.
Kev, go back. I said internally we can criticize one another.
We not no.
Y'all don't waste our time. Yeah, like seriously.
Kev. We are all young people here trying to have some good conversation. Let's try to speak one at a time, please. Welcome to the show, Clinton.
Thank you very much. Stanton. Look, I before I got on, I heard the EFF president said that no one within the WIA administration who even criticized the government, and that's not true. That is not true.
If you criticize the government, they'll fire you.
That's not true because he can. How many officials within the CDC that he knows were fired because they were critical of the government? Now, when Kev pushed him and said, "Okay, tell me about this government."
No. Before you say now, who criticized the government on the CDC and either they still have the job or they end up resigning or the president fired them? Just give us somebody's name that actually came on social media and criticized George Manawia.
They don't necessarily have to come, and that's the thing.
No. I'm asking you.
Hold on.
No. Clinton. Don't jump in the middle of the ocean that day you start crying and say, I can't swim. You trusted yourself. That's why you get in the middle of the ocean. I'm asking you a question. Clinton. Name me one person that criticized George Manawia for 6 years and still had the job to the end of the 6 years.
So when you're looking for social media or you're looking for any kind of public, because when you say criticism of the government, right? When I listened to Congress, and I want you to give me a chance, what he said was there was not a single official on the CDC administration that could talk about any of the losses of the regime, right? And then he said,
when you answer my question, when you going back to the president?
Wait. I wouldn't be able to make the point if he just want a yes or no answer. So
So you want to add a Bill Margate, right? Or you added a Bill Margate too?
So well, I want to, but I want to really get this point. Then he said, but Mo Ali and other people can come on the radio and say there are challenges, but then there, we are making significant progress. And I think that is point. He said no CDC officials, the point he's trying to drop, ever came on any national media to say there were challenges within the CDC administration. That's a lie, because I sat through many interviews with Minister McGill, and he made those points. I listened many times to many officials who talk about it. Matter of fact, Samuel 12 was very good when you push on the economy. He would tell you that we have challenges, and the progress we're making. So CDC officials,
hold on. I beg you, please, just hold on. You speaking. Mommy, listen to this great counselor saying Samuel 12. We are saying criticizing Joe Manuel. We are directly to Joe Manuel.
No. We are saying. No. You're addressing something different. I'm addressing government. And I address exactly the statement. We are saying all the way somewhere else. Right?
All right, so let's get back on track. Clinton, let's get back on track. Right?
Yes, let's get back on track.
Yeah,
why would you even want?
Well, let me ask you before I go to Mambe, right? We all sit on something we call Joseph Boakai name directly, right, Mambe? Mm-hmm. We said they want. I always say they want on President Boakai. I said disappointed with they want about.
How many on the platform said that this? I think President we actually do X, Y, and Z.
Clinton, wait. Let us bet you. We are not saying now that you say you think President. We are saying then for 6 years in government, we have never seen anyone coming on social media upline, on the newspaper, on BBC, print media, online media, whatever you may call it.
This is you. This is not going good. Let's be clear that this is you. Let's be clear that this is you. No, the EFF president. This is you. No, but let's continue now.
So, mommy, let me come to you because the guys would.
No. I haven't finished.
I never. So allow me to finish now. Yeah. Maybe I'm making the mistake. Anybody from 2017 to 2023 ever criticized George Manawea to his face and said, "Mr. President, this is on you. You are the cause. You must take action and say hold on to the position." Can you name me one person?
Okay. So, Stanton, you are not in the internal meetings of the president, his cabinet. You are in there. So how do you know that you haven't done it? You're making the point that Gongo just made, that these people are dissenting with President Boakai, but they're not doing it publicly. They are doing it internally. The first person who even tried it, who was an assistant minister, he was immediately suspended. And we know what happens when Boakai suspends. You don't come back. You're known for saying that Boakai doesn't fire. Once he's suspended, you know you're not coming back. So he resigned. It does not. There's no organization, no institution, no government in the world where you should have senior officials of government who have access to the president, who are sitting in cabinet meetings with the president, to come on any public media to say the president is wrong. No.
Okay, thank you. Mama, let me bring you in. Thank you very much, Clinton. I know the little girl is calling you, man. She's going to give you help. Mama, let me bring you in. You brought this up, Mama. Can you help us understand, because you were with the Madam Sadiq government, you were young with George Manawea, you know the players, Mama. Can you name me one person that actually, I'm not talking about outside of the government, I'm not talking about beyond closed door, but that came on social media, openly on newspaper to criticize George Manawea and still kept the job?
I mean, I know where your question is going, but this is how I want to respond. Sorry if I don't answer you the way you wanted to.
No problem.
This is how I want to respond. Government officials who are working in government can have disagreement with policies. It's different. From government officials saying, "Mr. President, declare your asset. Mr. President, publish your asset. You promised to do it. You have to do it." It takes courage to do that. We saw that happening with different government ministries and agencies under Joseph Boakai. Go to the National Transit Authority. The Deputy Director of Corporate Press Conference, Noah Gibson, said, President President Boakai, declare and publish your asset. You have to do it because you promised to do so. The point I'm trying to send here is there are two ways. It is not just people who support the government pushing the government. It is also the president listening in good instances. It is also the president, because there are two ways. It is also the president listening. We criticize Yellow Machine and say, yes, it is good. Yes, we want it, but the procedure we're taking is not appropriate. The president listening. Other people criticize Iboma and Eton. We saw what happened. They did not listen until it collapsed, and it was even DeLong who insisted that saying the thing was a black. They cancel it from in the legislature so it doesn't become a bready. So what I'm saying is, I don't expect the minister to come who has a responsibility now to fix the system to come sit down on Facebook and be criticizing the system, because that's why we give you the authority to fix. But supporters who are not in government, social media actors, other people in the party who see the direction of the country not going the way they expected, to stand publicly and speak, and also for the leadership to, in good instances, listen and take corrective measure. We did not see that happen easily on nowhere. When people criticize you, they call you names. The president will call people enemy of the state because they disagree. Boakai is not calling anybody enemy of the state. In instances, he's listening and he's taking action. The only problem we have is he's slow and we need to push him further. And we believe the more we push, the more he will act. We're not just criticizing recklessly for the sake of criticizing, though he criticized today. No, we're identifying issues and pointing to those issues. We're providing evidence, and the president is listening. Not just for the sake of criticism. You say that you thought, oh, the man criticize, my making criticize. No. Policy differences, policy disagreement, issues, evidence. Look at the thing to LTA. We are saying, Mr. President, you commission the audit.
Senator, what's the question? Was it government official about Mame? Mame, you can criticize all you want. You're not government official. We're not talking about you.
But you just listen to Mame. He said there's a deputy director who had a press conference and asked
okay. I tell you, you're talking about aggregate now. Is one deputy minute and one deputy manager. Okay.
For me, I talk about aggregate, and Mame just gave an example.
I just gave an example. You want for us to take the show today to just list all the people who do it, we can do it.
But that's not why you're looking for. You wanted to list people, not just we are. The point I was making the stint on is, it is not any kind of professional or any kind of practice within government for senior officials of government who have access to the president, who meet with the president on a daily basis, who run agencies of government to come publicly to criticize the president, criticize policies, because that's what they are there to do. Now, I had the opportunity of being in cabinet meeting with the president and his officials, and they disagree on policy differences. That's where you should have your policy differences. You do not expect them to come, because when you do that, then you either resign. If there is a serious policy disagreement with you and the president of the government that you are not willing to get past, then you resign. But you do not come and do that publicly.
So let's move on.
People the same question, they will tell you they disagree internally.
Let me say something before.
So let's move on, guys.
Let me say something before you move on, Stanton. Let me say something before you move on. You know, sometimes people got to do their research on that. You know, I know Imam Bongo, I know Abdullah Mame, who is so fascinated about George Weah. But Gabriel Nikwan, who was he worked at the Ministry of State with Clinton, disagreed with President Weah on the cabinet journey issue, and he was very, 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 very openly disagreed with President Weah, but he kept his job. He kept his job. But
what happened to that? Lester Tenney. What happened to that? Lester Tenney. What happened to Mobile Molu?
No, we're talking about something. Malu
But
were
what
there.
kind of argument you're making? Malu remain chairman of the CDC until the election is over.
Clinton, when you do this, you interrupt my flow. I beg you, man. Yeah, my man.
So let's go. I think you make the point. We got to go to the other issue now.
When you do this, you listen. Malu were there until 2020, until the election. So I don't know where Gongwa come from. But let's talk about the man who was at the Ministry of State, advisor to the president. Disagree, but he was still there. Anybody with Joseph Bokai who disagree with Bokai there? That's the question.
Okay, so let's move on. Mommy, let's talk about the other.
Let it. We can move on now. Let it concede and tell the Liberian people they just
concede on what?
Concede on what? No, they need to.
All right, Kev, let's move on now. We can only do this talk one at a time, and we got a lot to cover. I think that Kev, it's nothing personal. We're having a discussion here. So let's move on. I believe that Clinton, you twisted what was on the flow because you're trying to have some game year for CDC. No one in the government, whether they are. But let me finish the one out. Let me finish the one.
Congo was very focused on the jobs we are, and nobody ever ran behind anything. Like people broke up. We're talking about putting the opposition happening.
You said nobody ran behind me. You know how many times I was in Harlem?
Nobody ran behind you, man.
You know how many times I was in Harlem?
Nobody ran behind you.
You know how many times I was in Harlem?
Nobody ran behind you. You were always all around the place.
People ran behind me.
Guys, let's move on now. I know this thing about
is allowing people to be here to criticize. At least we have a responsible government.
So let's move on, folks.
Your government.
So let's move on. I think the bigger picture here, you can criticize, right? And let me say my bad, guys. Don't interrupt me. You can criticize Joseph Boakai and still go home 9 o'clock at night. You are free. And still go home from the bar, walk home. You are free. Nobody will harm you. You can do an audit and you still see the next day. Nobody will harm you as an auditor. You can do these things because it's only fair to do so. You can be on Spoon Network. You can be on OKFM and Auto FM and say the president is not performing well. And we hope the president performed better. But you couldn't have done so 2017 to 2023. Because at the end of the day, two things happen. You end up losing your job and you run out of the country for your life. So that's my on that. So what we're going to say is that but let me say now, we got to go. Okay, so when we come to you, Captain, you can correct me. So when we come to you, you correct me. You got to slow down, man. We all here, we equal. We got to do it one at a time. Don't be crying, my man. Fagon is not on the show. He will not be able to sit you. Abula Mame, and let me come back to you. It's very important that you said the good, the bad, and the ugly within the three branches of government. Okay, we have gone 30 minutes into the program. We got 1 hour, 30 minutes left. Which branch you want us to start with first? You are muted.
We'll start with the executive.
Let's start with the executive. Give us your opening.
The bad. The bad. The government have not shown that character. The government has not shown that anger against corruption. Everything we see in this country, brother, you can do all the farm policies, you can bring all the farm programs. If you don't address the fundamental issue of corruption and impunity, we're not going anywhere as a country. That is the reason why when we campaign for Gonglo, we make corruption at the front burner of our campaign because we diagnose the country problem. Everything standing between Liberia and progress. That single thing that stands between Liberia and progress is corruption and impunity. This administration have not shown that character, have not shown that anger in dealing with corruption, and have not shown that commitment in reducing or any impunity in government. The first year was not impressive on that front. That's the ugly. Previous government officials, we saw the way they acquired illegal wealth, other reports and findings, the way the president office entered into gentleman agreement with the deputy governor of the central bank and say, resign, we'll forget about the audit and pay you your benefit. That was the greatest slap in the face of the fight against impunity. The way the president office is treating the audit at LTA and audit the president's commission is a slap in the face for accountability. I can go on naming other issues, but I just wanted to make that one as my touch point for the ugly, because everything we do in this country, how we deal with corruption and impunity, will determine how we move forward. And corruption is not just about allegation, it's about proving it. One step further is, how do we go to the courts? And that's where I'm coming now, because you do the three branches of government. Or you just want me to stick with the executive first?
Yeah, I just want us to take it one at a time. So we're doing the executive, you talk about the bad though.
Yeah.
You're going to hold on to the good and the ugly?
Let me talk about the good. Government is listening. Every government that listening to its people, a just, a man, is a good government. The government is listening. One big win that people attempted to swift was the MCC decision to list Liberia for compact. The MCC said, I'm listing Liberia for compact for two fundamental reasons. One, the past performance in the scorecard. Two, the current commitment to reform of this administration. Two fundamental reasons. This government commitment to reform, articulated by the Minister of Finance, Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the President's Office, the different documents and actions we've taken, whether it comes to the issue about performance contract with public officials, to say there must be performance contract that you sign. It's a commitment for the delivery of service. The issue about pushing for war and economic crime code. The government's development plan, how it is linked to the budget, and the initial step we've taken to align counter development funds and begin to disburse counter development funds. All those different reforms, MCC and others saw it and say, you have demonstrated commitment to reform. On that basis, plus the scorecard you perform on we will select you for a compact. We all have agreed that selection for compact, whether past score and current commitment, they are not sufficient. What is sufficient is the next step that we'll take in the next 6 to 18 months to be able to get a compact. So we're looking forward to that. That's a good news. The government is listening. The government is committed to reform. How that reform translates into action to benefit the lives of the people will be the next step we're looking forward to in the next year. But for now, we see a government listening. We see commitment to reform that has been identified by the U.S. government through the MCC. And on that basis, they have selected us for a compact. Commitment to reform and the government that is listening. Auditors are free to do their job. To the extent they are coming to America and signing agreements, they're free. Nobody after them. There are episodes in our country around audit. The first time was during the early administration time. Auditors were conducting audits. Other report can the compromise. President Salisi I take responsibility. Edwin Snowden can find their way in the court and get no guilty verdict. They pass. During George Weah time, we saw a new dimension. Auditors were falling along the road dying when they conduct audit, when they were leading major audits. That was a strange phenomenon that Liberians were witnessing. They were getting afraid. We've never saw this before. Yeah, people were stealing here before. You conduct audit, the compromise, the president can take responsibility. People can go to court, they get free. We saw all of it. But to see auditors leading audit, just dropping and dying, this is a new phenomenon. The denial experience. Joe Boakai King, auditors are now dying. In fact, they are free to do their job. They're free to the extent where they're even going outside Liberia now to raise money to do more audit, to get support to do more audit. Those are the reforms we are committed to that MCC saw and say, I can select you for a compact. But the heavy lifting on whether we get compact will be determined in the next 12 to 18 months. Government listening, commitment to reform.
The last one, hopeful for the future.
Hope for the future. That's the last one. The people are hopeful, Stanton. The people don't see a president who in 6 months is building condominiums across the places. They don't see that. They don't see the president. We're talking about riding private jet. They don't see a president who says, I prefer private jet to make my muratic. It sends a bad message. The hope the people have, like I said before, and not because President Boakai is doing everything, the government is solving all the problems, but they don't see a reckless government. They don't see that. The first budget of the administration is having a conversation around increasing salary. In the past, the first budget was having a conversation about reducing salary. Now we're talking about tapping up salary. The people getting hopeful in as much as they're not across government, but you see your friends say, man, at least they're adding something, giving them hope. When they criticize, the government can listen. Nobody dropping. Auditors are brave to do their job. People within and without, critical voices like Stanton and the rest of the other people are not just doing reckless criticism. They're doing research, identifying problem, and raising it up to the government and say, President Boakai, Minister, these are the issues, address them. So the people are hopeful.
So folks, we want to say thank you again. Share the show. Mommy have laid out his 3: 1, the bad, 2, the good, and the hopeful message for the future. You remember this is the last Sunday in 2023. Ima, I'm going to skip you because I want to do mixed match, right? Kev, you and Clinton, who going first on this one? Go ahead, Kev.
Okay, let me say this. At this moment, I think less than 3 days or 3 days to next year. Okay, anyone on the platform name me the achievement of this government 1 year? I want to know the achievement. CDC is gone. People make that decision. Mommy can say anything but CDC. CDC kills cats. CDC do everything. CDC burned down the country. Oh, Chancellor was CDC was sedition. Gone. Name me the achievement today.
You want me to name it?
Can anybody name me the achievement?
Mommy asking you. You want him to answer you?
Of course, yes. Name me the achievement.
So then wait. Let Mommy answer.
Name me the achievement.
The government first budget has been able to lay the foundation to begin to increase civil servant salary. That's 1. 2, counter development funds are coming to you. There is a big issue about decentralization of governments and the distribution of resources. 6 years under the previous administration, counties were complaining of their counter development and social development funds. It was the fundamental reason Prince Johnson campaigned against you in Nima. Call the superintendents of the various counties today. They tell you they are receiving their county development fund. So at the county level, they make decisions on the use of resources to address that issue. We're decentralizing the use of resources. In the past, it was centralized and counties were complaining. That's another one. I can give you another one. Another one is with the president's foreign policies agenda. The president is meeting leaders. Foreign policies that you created a problem with. We've managed to address that. You might not know the impact because you're not looking at rock in stone or building blocks. You created a fundamental problem with Kosovo and the US and Russia. It was President Bouacar on his first trip to the US that he solved that diplomatic problem with what you created with Kosovo. You make fun all of you asking what Kosovo can give you. Kosovo cannot give us anything. But we have a long-standing relationship with Kosovo, and America is a partner to Kosovo. You terminated that relationship. It was Joseph Boakai that rebuilt and rekindled that relationship. More time?
Kev, you want him to go home?
No, Stanton. The spoon were established on serious business, not jokes. Mama is. We're not talking about joke. Mama is joking here. We're talking about serious business in terms about Kosovo. We're talking about what is the achievement that the Liberian people.
You asked the man to name achievement. Achievement. Go to the point.
Yeah, but Stanton are going now. Wait. Keep a cool head. Wait. Listen.
You want breaking news?
Stanton, wait.
Yeah.
Listen. We're talking about the bread and butter for the Liberian people. What the Liberian people will get out of this. Mame is bringing joke here. We're not joking. Let me tell you, Stanton, when a president leave your country to go meet a leader saying, I'm going to meet
no, but let's see what they go by and argue, my man. Don't change the thing now. Let's see what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, Stanton, but
you asked Mame the question. Mame answer you. You want to counter what Mame said?
Stanton, I countering it. Mame talk about Kosovo is Liberia now. You don't stop him. What I'm saying to you right now, right? When a president leave your country to go meet an incoming president, you're talking about meeting a world leader. No, it's the other way around, Stanton. When you newly elect, you go to your counterpart as Mohammed in Kenya meeting Ruto right now. That's what a serious government do. By you leaving your nation to go meet a president-elect shows that you're lying. It's a joke. What I'm saying is what the Liberian people can benefit. I will outline you this. In the first year of George Manawia, the Liberian people, I can outline you the benefits of the Liberian people. I want Mame.
Government. You
said wait, let me finish now. I want Mame to outline me the benefit of this government.
He left Mame for 25 minutes here.
Yeah, Clinton, please, I beg you, my brother. You always interrupt with this flight. I've told you this. I'm in flight. Don't stop me. Listen now. I want Mame to outline the benefits, the bread and butter, the school, sector by sector. Let's go to healthcare. Let's go to education. Let's go to everything. What the Liberian people benefit. What's in there for me? Don't tell me Kosovo. Mame need to tell me what's in there for me. That's all I want him.
Two things in there for you. Two things in there for you. There has been 12 months of uninterrupted supply of rice. There has been 12. I come in.
Where you asking? That's you asking.
12 months.
You see,
there have been 12 months of uninterrupted supply of petroleum products that are being supplied at a relatively lower price. Uninterrupted.
So let's go to email, then we'll come to Clinton. Yeah, email, go ahead. But Kevin, I'm surprised that you didn't say anything that Mame or shine you on. You talk about audit. No, let me finish. Maybe you'll come back to it, Kevin. No, let me finish. I beg you. Let me remind you. I asked Mame, you want us to start with the executive. Everybody watching. Mame said bad for the government audit. Mame said good, listening. The MCC, commitment to reform. Mame said that. hope for the future. Mambe explain everything for the future. You coming from different place and say, Mambe, tell me what Koso will bring in. He tell you, but you didn't say anything. You didn't challenge Mambe on any of this thing. So I hope you remember to do that when we come back to you. Even, am I making a mistake here, Emmanuel? Mambe outlined something, and then this guy talking about, hold on, I care. And then kept talking about Ghana, kept talking about Ghana and something I don't understand. But even talk to me.
Kev is off balance. You know, Kev is off balance, but Kev, it will be okay. So for me, bad. I think there's an appearance of disunity between some ministers in government and some forces around the president and the executive mansion that is impeding the progress of the government. Bad. They need to work on that. In most cases, the IMCC decisions seems to be undermined by certain individuals in the executive mansions for selfish reasons to do that. Bad. We need to come together because the only way the government will make progress is when the forces in the executive mansions and the cabinet ministers outside of the executive mansion can be seen working together. If we have that in the second year, the government will perform. If we continue that in the second year, the government will still be on the pace we're on. Good. The president seems to be listening to public pressure, even though he's slow at some point on certain decisions, but he seems to be listening to public pressure, and I think it's good for the country. Ugly. The way in which we are dealing with drugs-related issues in the country is very ugly. There's not much emphasis we are placing on the fight against drugs. The women of this country, the young people of this country, they stood up for the government, for the president during the elections. One thing that brought this government to power is because of the commitment to fight drugs. What I see happening at the LDA CEO is disappointing. You have men that are qualified, they have the technical skill set to fight drugs in the country. The budgetary support to LDA is disappointing, discouraging. It doesn't send a sign that we want to fight drugs. It doesn't send any signal that we are prepared to fight drugs. And that's why the drugs law perhaps utilizing to continue to bring drugs in the country, very ugly. Good? Oh, look, okay, the good I said the president seems to be listening. The ugly is the way we're dealing with the drugs. The other ugly is the way we have treated, I'm sorry that I left, the asset recovery. Look, the asset recovery should have been one pillar of this government that would have given the Liberian people hope because they are aware. I was there for a few months and I saw the number of the properties that few government officials acquired. And I have all this information with me. There are properties, people, Liberians, were coming into the asset recovery office and giving informations. Liberians were much more excited about the asset recovery than any other government institution. The way the asset recovery was treated, bad. Very bad. We disappointed the people on the asset recovery, and I hope in the future, in 2025, the president can see reason to reconstitute. It's not late. It's not late. The president can reconstitute the asset recovery, and we can go after those who plunder the country resources. Something when I show you some pictures of government official properties that they own in the country, you will be disappointed why the asset recovery is not at the forefront. Arresting people and investigating them and prosecuting them. The corruption that took place under George Weah, the looting that took place under George Weah cannot be compared to anything that is happening in the last first year of the Bouaga administration. In 1 year, what people acquired under George Weah cannot be compared to anything that is happening under Bouaga administration. So yes, there's hope.
Can you explain that? Can you explain that in details?
In the future.
Emmanuel, can you explain that in details?
I said to you, what happened, the corruption that took place.
Yeah, explain that in details. Corruption. Explain that in details.
Yeah, under George Weah, the looting of the state.
Yeah,
George,
explain details.
But
You don't just say
hold on, let him finish. Gotta go to Clinton.
You saw George building duplex all around the place in 1 year.
Yeah, but
I was
come on, let's
so let email finish. Clinton will come to you, please.
Yeah, you can't challenge me to this. I was in the CDC and I know George well. George did not have a dime to come to power in 1 year to do everything that he had. He didn't have a dime. I know how we ran George campaign when he became senator. We have to give him snow car. He didn't even have a car.
Sometimes you can just talk foolishness.
So you don't come here and pretend that we don't know. I'm telling you, Kev, I'm not here to fight tonight.
That's complete foolishness.
Yeah. So Kev, you gotta get a better chance. Don't say he's talking foolishness tonight. No. When we come to you, you will make a sound argument. Stop saying your friend is talking foolishness.
Yeah, when you're talking, I don't interrupt you. When you're talking, I don't interrupt you. I'm saying to you, what happened in 1 year? Natana Mangeo, in the first year, you saw what he acquired. All of them, the government officials. How many government officials honor Bouakat administration that you see acquiring property left and right? How many percent? I'm not a spokesperson. I'm not speaking for them. But you can see that. You don't see that kind of recklessness. But you saw that on a George Weah. So yes, there's in the future.
I have $1 million.
Okay, let's go to Kev, you gotta stop interrupting, man. Please. Clinton, let's hear you.
Look,
you listen to Mame, you listen to Mame, you listen to Eman. Talk to us.
I don't even know why Kev can even take the extra, spam to ask people to go ahead and list X, Y, and Z. It's a waste of time, Kev. Like, there is nothing for people to talk about. There is nothing. There's no substance in anything that Gwenko or Mame have said about the U.S. administration. Let me first begin by saying, right, that John Molu, the former Auditor General who supported President Bouakai, who was Auditor General under President Sirleaf, said that the Unity Party government was 3 times more corrupt than any government in the history of our country. That's the basics. Do not think about the Unity Party government. People come here and talk as though President Bouakai today was when he took the office in January of this year was the first time he ever came to government. The Unity Party government is a continuation of the last 12 years under President Sirleaf and Bouakai.
No, we are talking about Bouakai, please. We are talking about Bouakai.
Let him finish, Eman, please. Don't interrupt, but let him finish.
And that's the issue I have with a lot of these people. They want to take the successes of the Ellen Bouakai administration, but when you come to the vices of the Ellen Bouakai, they say no, that was only Ellen and not Bouakai. Only the good things you want to take the bad thing. John Molu says that this government was corrupt. Matter of fact, most of the people, everybody on the platform know the Unity Party government today is pretty much maybe 80% of the same officials from the last 12 years. That is a fact. A lot of the people who just came over from the last government came here. There is nothing new. So you're talking about government where your Auditor General say was 3 times more corrupt, right? Now, I know Mame tried because there was nothing about this administration in the first year to really talk about. So he tried to pave it to the MCC. And when he does that, what he does is he tried to find something that is not there. So he instead of going to the real issue that the successes of the MCC is really because of what the Weah administration did over the course of 3, 4, 5 years, he tried to say what the MCC is saying that based on your future commitment. If we're just rating, if all the countries in the world were just rating to get MCC compact based on future commitment, I think the American government will run out of money because they will be giving everybody, because everybody can write a fine paper on future commitment. But this is what the MCC compact is based on. It is based on.
Is that what Mame said, though? I think that's not what he said.
Yes, Mame always make the point. He always made the point that it is because of the commitment, the future commitment of this government to good governance. That's the core basis for the MCC compact. But let me tell you, the MCC compact is based on one, the MCC scorecard to past performance.
That's not what he said. Can he repeat what he said?
No. I'm giving my chance. Stanton, you're not interrupting me. You allow Congress to talk for 25 minutes with the other. Let me talk. Yeah. So the MCC compact is pretty much based on the scorecard for the last few years, for the last 3 years, in fact, that was done by the CDC government. We also know that it's based on past performance of the last compact, which we know was implemented under the CDC government. So the MCC compact, the story of the MCC compact today is really the work of the CDC government. Now, let's move on to press freedom. We talk about press freedom. Let me remind you that it was President Weah. It was President Weah who signed the Kamara Press Freedom Act of 2019. Before then, historically, Liberia, we used to criminalize, it was criminal. We had criminal libel against the president. We had sedition, all this crime. President Weah came and signed the Press Freedom Act and said, no more. The press should be allowed to criticize the government freely. That's an achievement of this government. Mame also talked about decentralization, but he forgot to mention that it was President Weah who signed the Decentralization Act, the Local Government Act. It was President Weah who signed the Local Government Act. So he's struggling. There's really nothing to talk about in these 11 to 12 months going in, that you're finding things of the former government and you're trying to bring it and make it a UP project, a Bwaka project. That is complete fallacy. Let me also talk about a point I noted.
Yeah, try to end that now because we got to go back. The other guys that come to you too.
I just talk about 20 minutes. I ain't even late. But let me quickly talk about whether the government is listening or not. This government is not listening. If this government was listening, it would not have been supporting the removal of a sitting speaker. We know that many opposition leaders have criticized this move by the government. We know that members of the civil society have criticized this government, and they told the government that the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, as a matter of fact, has ruled, and this government is still on the path of tearing apart our constitution, but yet Mame said this government is listening, right? You talk about Weah and the building of condominiums and officials of government building homes. Whenever you make that argument, it just makes the Bwaka government look lazy, right? It makes them look inept because they've been in office 11 months now. Mr. Gonglo, you serve on the asset recovery thing, and you criticize some of the things you started doing. You started on wrongful thing. You've not been able to replace any serious endowment or any of the CDC officials, not even Mr. Weah, because there's absolutely no evidence of any of the things you've raised. We also know when you talk about auditors were dying. I've always said that, look, there is no anything that starts your limitation on our laws on the murder. If you were serious about it, if you thought this was an important issue, you would have by now commission. As a matter of fact, I think some of the issue raised, including the missing boys, I think under this administration, those cases were open and the police have reached the same conclusion that were reached under the Weah administration.
Thank you very much, Clinton. I think Clinton laid a lot of stuff out in addressing both Mame and Emmanuel Gongler on this executive issue. Mame, you come in. You want to add anything? Because I think Clinton with that MCC compact thing, he toasting you.
Please put the press release up from the compact. I'll send it to you. Pull it up. That means saying it. It is not Amula Mame.
They're not came with it. How to help UP today.
It is not Amula that is saying it. It is the MCC.
Yeah. Sorry for Mame. Sorry for Mame today.
They're not sorry for you today. If you're not trying to help her,
you cannot say that. You cannot say that.
It's not happy everybody. The show is nice.
It is not Amula
Mame, is this one?
saying it.
Mame.
Yeah. I sent it 21 to you. Check it.
Now who picture that said? Now who picture that said worry?
That picture was showing. Wait.
Yeah. So
I don't keep on crying. Keep on crying for Joria departure.
You can't undo the facts. They are there. You just have to admit, and then we move forward. The reality is MCC achievement, the part of the reason why MCC doesn't rely on past glory to select country for compact. Take Guinea, for example. Guinea can have all the good score in the past because they have a military leader that is not committed to reform today. Guinea can pass all the score. They will not select Guinea for compact because Guinea's current situation does not align with the agenda. So compact doesn't rely on past glory. They rely on current commitment. So the past glory brings you to current commitment, and then the current commitment lead you in the process of getting the grant. So if you are past glory, take Guinea for example. Guinea passed all the scorecard as an example, but Guinea has a military leader who is not committed to reform. Even though if Guinea is an example in this case, I'm using Guinea as a case study. I'm not saying the past is school. I'm saying if Guinea passed all the school in the past, but they have a military leader who is not committed to reform today, they will not select you for compact. That is the situation with Liberia. We passed the school. This is the MCC statement. The MCC board of directors selected Liberia as a newly eligible to develop a compact during its quarterly meeting on December 18. Liberia was selected in recognition of the progress the country made to strengthen its performance on MCC scorecard and the country's commitment to pursuing critical economic and democratic governance reform. Two reasons. Now I'm saying it at MCC. And the reason why
you just made my point. You literally just made my point.
Exactly.
This is all we are. You think?
So what's the point? Because that's exactly what Mami said. And he said he was wrong.
No, that's not what Mami said. Mami have never emphasized the MCC scorecard as the
He just said on the show.
Stand
down.
Let's move forward, Stanton. We can't.
I said there were two issues. I raised my hand, two issues. I said scorecard in the past and current commitment. And I told you that they don't rely on past glory too much because there are instances where, and I gave Guinea as an example.
But then I disagree because the first thing the MCC listed is improve performance on the scorecard. That's the first thing.
I've said it.
So when you talk about, I don't understand. That's the first thing they listed. So that's the primary thing. So if you're going to take that thing, the cardinal reason before you even come to end, it's a Josh Weir thing.
Gamma there. Liberia were not failing in MCC scorecard until Josh Weir became president. We passed consistently from 2013 to 2018. It was Weir who started failing from 2019 to 2020.
Fair enough. When did the UP come to power? Tell me when the UP come to power and when the MCC compact was started. And tell me when did Liberia first got his first compact?
Good. Let me tell you that. When UP came to power in 2005, it took them long period of time to learn how to pass the scorecard. Beginning 2013.
You failed from 2005
Listen to
all the way to start to 2013. But you worried that because he failed 2 years.
Listen to me. Guys. We got to move on.
Beginning 2013, Liberia was on the track of consistently passing scorecard. All the foundations were set to pass scorecard. And we passed from 2013 straight to 2018.
You can't say the foundation. You can't make that thing because the economic conditions, right? Everything that contributes to the performance of the scorecard are different from time to time. So the CDC government can argue that when we took power in 2017, we had a double-digit inflation rate. We had to work to bring that to single digit. Those were the conditions that implemented this whole time.
There's a reason. There was a reason why you experienced the type of inflation you experienced, because you took over significant amount of US dollar claiming to have done a mop-up exercise that landed in the homes of people. According to the General Auditing Commission report, there were businesses you claim you gave money to that did not receive money. That's why you caused your own problem.
Okay, Senton, can I come in now?
So I gotta go. I will get email the last word. Then we have to go on the legislature.
Yeah, so the point of failure from 2005 to 2013, we did not have a structured governance structures in place. We have just come from war. That was the first democratic election we had. So you can't say people failed from 2005 to 2013. From 2011, we started having control government. We started experiencing transition, from the war years to a more democratic state. From 2005 to 2011, we were in the process of transitioning from a devastating civil war to a more governing state, a more democratic governing state. So, your argument of failure from 2005 should not be an argument. Let's look at from 2011 coming. Then we can have a little bit of consideration.
But we can look, but Gonga, if you want to say that, then we can also look at some of the conditions.
We gotta go.
We have COVID, right?
Guys, we gotta go. Clinton, you just interrupt that back here. We gotta go. Ladies and gentlemen, Yekezi, can you come on? We running on time. We beg you guys. We got only 49 more minutes left. I beg you guys. Yekezi, can you come on real quick? Is Yekezi in the studio, Iman?
Yeah.
Yekezi, can you come on? Let's take phone call. You've been listening to Mame, Emmanuel Gongwe, Kev Hassan, and Clinton. We got to go to the phone line, Kev. You make your point already. I beg you. Let's go to the phone line. We ask you, please, you listen to the issue about the good, the bad, and the ugly with the executive. Don't talk about the legislature. Don't talk about judiciary right now. Just the executive. We have 4 unity parties like Joseph Barker, Mame, and E-Man. Kev Hassan and Governor Clinton on CEC. Who you think on the first conversation tonight? I mean, which side you on? I'm not going to ask for who win or who didn't win. Which side you on? We'll take 15 quick calls, Yekezi, and then we'll come back and talk about why the Capitol building got burned down and who's to blame. Who the people of Liberia are going to blame after this one with Mame, Emmanuel Gongwe, Kev Hassan, and Governor Clinton. Thank you for sharing our show. Let's make progress. Go ahead, Yekezi.
Okay, 0777-771-075, 0555-101-075 are the numbers to put it through. Let's talk to this first person. Hello, your name and where you join us from.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Good evening to the parents, Emmanuel and others. This is a group of in budget for you tonight. Let me say, my deputy minister, in person of email, thank you very much. You are you're not deputy for manpower at the Ministry of at the minister. Okay, let me get me my point. So no problem. Let me say this. To be very frank, Kev have nothing to say to Liberian people. People that here, they know George Weah more than you. When they be talking about George Weah, you talking about this. Kev, your leader, Mark. Let me talk about the Clinton men that even claim what. So 2005 to 2011, you just come for in a war. What you were expecting? You not get nothing in the war. You just come in the war. Then you talk about the other people talk about the betterment of their country. That George Weah, we agree all they go away for George Weah. He the one do everything. Even the one what Walker is doing that he the one, but he will never be president in the country.
Thank you. Let's talk to another person.
Hello. My name is Dustin, and I'm so finished.
Let's hear you.
I listen to Mommy Lee, all some of the achievement of the government, and you forget the law about hometown. Compound number 3, we started a district. The district program by County. From 1847, we are now being able to experience LEC. If you go there right now, the government is now claiming that they are not building transformers and running wires to all the towns and in Whistle City. If you go to Sasso City right now, LEC is currently they're working now to Owensboro checkpoint, Mr. Gamole, Home from home. If you go to become right now, as I speak to you right now, LEC is right now to Orange Grove. Right now, for going to what's for one. So the government making significant mark in the livelihood of the people.
Thank you.
Achieve.
Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello.
Hey, you can see 30 seconds real quick. I beg in 30 seconds. Let me fast.
Yeah. Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, I'm Jim Baba Sakapa, and I come from Cinco this evening.
Okay, let's hear you quick.
You know, so for what, for my mate, it's just a disgrace for my mate to even be brave to talk about President Kosovo. What if that it has all these level people? What Joseph Burger international relationship has done for Liberia? Why is it created?
Okay.
Joseph Burger first year, according to
Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello.
My name is Adama Kane.
Adama, go ahead.
When they ask me, Joe, we are 4 years, and Joseph Wagai 4 years, I will tell you, I say Joseph Wagai 4 years at hell. Joe, we are 4 years at hell.
Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello. Your name and where you join us from? Hello.
You can see why you cutting people off.
Let me see it now. Just 30 seconds back. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Okay. My name is Brother Jeremiah Siawe. I joined the conversation from district number 6.
Go ahead.
You know, it's laughable when I hear Unity Party people trying to defend this government or sedition to defend or George Weah. The two governments that operate the CDC Unity Party on the same path because those things that Unity Party spoke against in the past, today we are seeing it surfacing. And in fact, it's becoming more than ever before. So sometimes when I sit back, I listen to people trying to defend this government, it's laughable. Where is JMB today? JMB.
Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello, your name and where you join us from?
Thank you. Anthony from Howard.
Anthony, go ahead.
You see, the first thing from the beginning, I listened to Senator asking about where we are government, who criticizing from the where we are government. More criticize where we are that you can spend money, but money will not for Senate. When down the long way from I declare this president, you will not for Senate, you will not get paid. Why are you talking about it? Mr. Butter, first year is for hell. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello. Hello, let's hear you.
Can you lower your volume of your radio, please?
I'm so good, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know what Kevin wants to say. Kevin, not going to say on our show. He can protect your first year with Joseph Burger 4 years. Joseph Burger 4 years is better than George Weah first year. Even if George Weah 6 years, Joseph Burger 4 years, Joseph Weah 1 year is better than George Weah 6 years.
Thank you. Let's hear this.
Hold on right there. You can see. Let me take just right there.
Okay.
All right, take that last person and hold on 1 minute. Go ahead, take them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I must admit to you, mommy, I don't mind me or my, they shouldn't be sounding like this now. Yeah, you know what? This special is a very serious matter special. To come on the village to provide, we must find out what the future. This government is carrying us to. We are on the ground. We know what we are experiencing. This country is back. The country is poor. No money here, nothing here. We can't see anything. You have to watch government. At least you guys are helping us.
Thank you.
All right, so hold on 1 minute. I'm going to take one from this end. Right now, you have taken 8 calls, 4 in favor of Mame and Eman, the EFFL president, and 4 in favor of Kev Hassan and Clinton. Let me take this one from here, and we will continue on the phone call. Our next conversation will be the legislature, and it will be a great one. Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
Well, thank you. I'll stand on for the first time. My name is Calabo Gonglo. I'm calling from the state of Pennsylvania. Here's what I will say. The CDC and the Unity Party are conjoined twins. These two parties are the most corrupt parties in Liberia. If you look in the last 20 years, all of the indicators of Liberia are declining because of the two parties. Their governing philosophy is simple. Take loans from creditors, mismanage the loan, and lie to the voters. That's what they do. Look, Stanton, today we are beginning to ask ourselves, what is the dividends of democracy? For the past 20 years, we have experienced democracy in the country. It's because of the mismanagement of the state by the CDC and the Unity Party. These two parties are bereft of any idea on how to lead the state, on governance process. It's time that they both admit that they have failed the people. That's my assessment.
Thank you, Kelebu. It's good having you again. You're welcome to join us next week if you have the time, but it's good having you, Kelebu. Let's go back. Answer the welcome to the show. We'll get to you. Let me take one last call and we'll go right back to Yekezi. Again, 9 calls so far, 4 for the CDC, 4 for Unity Party, 1 like Kelebu said. He's in the middle. Your name and where you joining us from? Your
Sir,
name.
how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. Your name and where you joining us from?
Oh my God.
Your name, sir, and where you joining us from? All right. Your name and where are you joining us from?
Okay, are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Your name.
Okay, my name is Zao Cordova, and I'm calling you from Delaware.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. Thank you so much. The show is interesting, and I want to tell all of you guys thank you for the good work you guys are doing. I'm just a little bit disappointed in Clinton and that of our guy. Look, let us stick to the topic because many of us listening to the show today, we want to learn, we want to really know what has been the progress of the government and what has been their failures. So the topic was what has been the bad, the good, and what are we looking forward to. Now you pointed out, as much as you are a critic, but be fair, point out the bad so that we can know, point out some of the good so that we can be on par with the topic. So when we come to the next topic, especially the executive, the judiciary, let us stick to the topic. When we say this, stick to the topic. Don't
Thank you.
Up the topic.
Thank you very much. And I think you are quite correct. We made progress. Mame laid out like 7 to 9 things, and I couldn't see any contact and email out of his also. But again, we're going back to the president trip in Ghana, and I want the nation to know we'll discuss the president trip in Ghana. But everything Mame laid out, there was no contact from the other guys at the end. So let me play 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 so far, 10 so far now. Let me hear you again. Let's take 5 more calls, and then that will be our 15 calls. Yekezi.
Hello, your name and where you join us from?
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear your name and where you join us from.
Thank you so much. This is David King, and I do join you from my resident notice.
Go ahead.
You see, I listened to Gongwe. There are a lot of bad things that are happening in the short period of time on a Unity Party. And Gamola he just put it right. You know, there's no way to help this government. This government, I just listened to Stanton the other day when he said, this is not why we sleep at night. And even Gamola was telling him, for a few months ago, less than a year, you were on a very platform informing Liberian people to vote for the Unity Party. But you are now regretting the statement you made to the people. So you don't need to be getting fired.
Thank you. Let's hear another person. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, my name is Andrew. I'm calling from Riyadh.
Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah. I hope Gamole and Kev, they are saying that CDC did this, CDC did that in the first government. In their first CDC first government, out of 16 billion people protest all over this place. You had Joe Reacting to power broke, nothing in your bag, all over the place. Criminal rape when places, people die all on the street. Someone wouldn't take pay, home, all over the place. So what I don't know what people want to say. There's nothing. They cannot lead up. So I don't know what they want to back all over the place.
Thank you. Let's hear another person. Hello.
Yeah, my name is Zani Makaran. I call you from Security Factory.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm so happy about this government because first time in history, before I was saying Security Factory rule now, you are coming on the demonstration. You are coming to build that road for Security Factory junction straight to Johnsonville Road. So when you send to the intersection of the junction now, to go inside Security Factory, you can see straight because myself, after speaking to you now, my area has been stimulated by the government. I appreciate that development. So there's no need to compare Joe 6 years and Joe 1 year.
Thank you.
Making comparison. Yes, this is what the government will do the 6 years before you make comparison.
Thank you. Let's hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, your name and where you join us from?
Okay, my name is Darius Pawan Bushra.
Darius, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you know this government is the best government now so far since Manaseri. Manaseri has some issues, but Georgia cannot compare, with Joseph Walker. Look, the exchange rate right now. So the exchange rate has dropped, and the prices of major commodities like rice, like the gasoline, and the infrastructure, building roads. So George, we are like the first year, so couldn't take pay for almost 5 months. They did harmonization, they spent money, 6 billion, they build structure for themselves. So the cut of George, we cannot compare with this integrated economy of Joseph Parker.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Let's hear your name and where you join us from.
Okay, I'm Gibson Boyd calling from farm.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I listened to the show. Look, let me tell you, I would have talked plenty, but I would not talk too much because the president we have done well in this country. The Liberian people who have not moving from that position, he did nothing that will excuse me, and he will never become. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead. Your name and where you
The
join us
last
from.
call.
Okay, my name is calling Bobby. I'm calling from Bonafide.
Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, I think Gamila and that of Kerry are making fun on the platform. You don't have a phone. You cannot tell anything about Georgia now. Explain to us. I want to tell you how Georgia is for its condominium. That has explain to us. You cannot say anything about Georgia was better than President. Yeah, then why is it that we were demolished? Because he left on power without any good reason. If you think it was good, it's the only reason why he left on there. And the company for us, they already what's on what they found.
Thank you. Thank you. We got your point. Thank you very much, Ekezi. Thanks to all the caller guys who will be taking your call again later. We got to go to the next conversation because we will get about 36 minutes left on the show. Now you have three sedition. Kev Hassan, Gamade Clinton, and Axido. You have Emmanuel Gongo, EFFL president, and that of Abula Mame. The calls that we're taking, we asked for 15, 16 came in. Out of the 16 calls, you got 10 for Abula Mame and Emmanuel Gongles, UP, and you got 5 for Kev Hassan and Gamade Clinton, one person who is our brother Kelabu from Pennsylvania, blame both parties. So again, we will be taking more calls, but we'd like to go over now to
your mouth, instead of your fuzzy mouth.
So let's go ahead. So let's go ahead.
I say, I'm the only one who have fuzzy mouth. 10.
Kev, we get your
people say 10. Your mouth.
Let's move along. I mean, we're not bothered about it.
Thank you. Let me serious, Kev. Yeah, the best thing, all these everything we do here right now, they are all recorded. So you can go back and listen to it, all right? And they just start from the 2 hour, 10 minutes of time and you listen to it. It will be fun. Again, like I said, we are going now. Who burned the Capitol building? Who's responsible? What's your take on it? I beg you, we come to you. You can say anything you want to say when we come to Adi. I beg you. So the Capitol building, we are going to the legislature. We ask Emmanuel to start while Mama is coming up. Amen. The whole big thing about the Capitol building, right? And everybody going crazy here and there. Let's talk about the legislature. Who figure it is? The good, the bad, the ugly on that branch.
I will begin with the good. Good. All the last few months, I think the legislature were very supportive towards the executive. I think they were working together in good faith, in the interest of the people. I think there were a lot of things that came from the executive to the legislature that they did not hold on. So the collaboration was good. So you can say good, bad. The way in which they managed the crazy at the legislature and the intervention of the executive at the final stages of the crisis, I think that was bad. I did not personally like the way the Justice Minister came in with the explanations of the Supreme Court ruling. I thought we should have allowed the Supreme Court, to come back to make themselves very clear, because the Supreme Court ruling, CEO, just confused everybody. In fact, I was very angry. I had a one-on-one interview, with some media personality, and I referred to the members of the Supreme Court bench, a group of confused people, because of the way they conducted themselves in the entire saga. People ran to you. You are the final arbiter of justice. People ran to you. People confused. They're looking for hope. They're looking for solution. They came to you, crying on you like, you are the mother. So we come to our mother now for solution. We've been fighting. We are running to our father. We come to our father, and our father cannot make a decision. Our father said, you got to go back to go solve your problem. You guys are in trouble. The fight continues. Today, we have the Capitol building burned down. I think the way the entire crisis was being managed, I think it was wrong. And I was want to do on record. I went on Facebook and said the president should not get involved. And I was encouraging him every day, do not get involved. But at the final stages of the crisis, this is politics. People tried to, the Unity Party was just smart. They neutralized the internal crisis of the CDC. George Weah actually removed Fulanti Kofa. I can say that on record. George Weah removed Funati Kofa. It was not the Unity Party that went after Funati Kofa. George Weah went after Funati Kofa. So they removed him. The Unity Party only leveraged on the internal crisis within the CDC, to get himself, to where they are to the English legislature. So that's what I would say.
Do you think, quick question, do you think George Weah could have prevented the Funati situation?
He was in the best position to have prevented that. He was in a very best position, because you can tell me Alpha John from District 2, Maggie County. George Weah made him representative to some extent in the second round. George Weah supported him to have been senator in Maggie County, elevated his political stature. You don't tell me George Weah don't have control over Alpha John. It's a sedition. So why, in your right mind, why will Alpha John and others from the CDC be very courageous to go after Funati Kofa if the CDC here is not in the removal of Funati Kofa? Why will all of these seditions be very courageous on a daily basis, coming on the radio, going to the hotel, being very courageous? In fact, they refuse to meet George Weah. Why would seditions in the legislature conduct themselves in that manner? And yet, you come in the public space and say you were not involved in the removal cycle of Funati Kofa. George Weah personally removed Funati Kofa as Speaker of the legislature. You know the party.
Why for? If you put on George Weah, why for? Why you think George Weah personally removed Funati, like you are saying?
Because of 2029. He feels that Funati is getting all powerful. Funati is getting influential in the ballot politics. Funati could decide that he's not supporting the CDC, and CDC don't want to be seen as giving Funati a weapon against them. Funati could decide that he's not supporting CDC in 2029. So they decided, look, come on, we are not going to build an army that would turn around and vote against us in 2029. So George was courageous to say, look, gentlemen, get him out.
So finally, to you before bringing Mame, maybe I'll keep Mame. We got to hear from one Sidisha, then we'll bring in Mame. But finally, to you, who do you blame? I know the police doing an investigation, don't call name, but as per our conversation here, who do you blame, for burning down the Capitol building? As a party, as an organization, the executive, the judiciary, who you put the blame on now?
Listen, I cannot point to someone being responsible for the burning down of a Capitol.
Group.
But I can hold the Supreme Court responsible for the escalation of the conflict. The Supreme Court is responsible for the escalation of the conflict. Whatever happened, including burning the legislature, burning the Capitol building down, the Supreme Court is responsible. Because if they have come up clear to explain to the Liberian people exactly what they meant by autovirus, we would not have had the situation we have today with the legislature. So the Supreme Court is responsible.
Thank you. Mama, I'll bring you in. You'll be the third because let's cross this thing, one of each. Kev Hassan, the Capitol building, the legislature, and you heard Emmanuel Gongwe?
Uh, Let me say this to you, Stanton. My wife is from Mozambique. Um, During the crisis in South Africa, uh, folks of the EFF and others went to Mozambique. I know the history. I know the family, and I'm close. The ambassador is a personal friend of mine of Mozambique. To hear the EFF guy misrepresenting what EFF is supposed to stand for is discouraging. The reason I say that, right, because I have that leverage of understanding uh,
You don't understand.
the foundation of the EFF. For this man to come out and spill garbage and say George Weah is part of removing the speaker, for a man who's supposed to represent the EFF is something that is a black movement that's supposed to represent what happened in South Africa. And doing this, I hope the leader of the EFF in South Africa would denounce himself from this gentleman without knowing the facts. And as I speak to you, Mr. Emmanuel Gongwa, and Speaker Kofa is disagreeing with you. He's saying that you are a liar.
No problem. No problem.
Because George Manawia is not part of removal. He's saying that you are a criminal and you are a liar.
No problem.
Because at this moment, President Weah did everything. But we're not going to go there. Senator, you can see from the folks that's supporting this government cannot defend any achievement of this government going to different places and just going around. It's a shame. It's a shame. Stanton, I want to hear the bread and butter.
I'm asking about the legislature, Kev.
Yeah,
You're not addressing it.
Yeah. My time, I will use it the way I want to use it. Please.
Okay, but then you say the way you want to use it. Fine.
Yeah. Let me use my time. Let me use my time, because what happened in the legislature is an act of folks who are, I would say, a part of being in hooligans. You know what I say, hooligans? Folks who want to remove the speaker, they are hooligans. They are hooligans. Because anything against the Constitution is an act of hooliganism. We know that. So if we want to look at what happening in the legislature, we'll call it straight. The Constitution, anything, I said for the beginning, the Constitution is being suspended. Because if the Constitution were supposed to be the Constitution and we go by the Constitution, then people should go by Article 33 and 49. The reason why folks are not going to the Constitution, because they know that this president called Joseph Yuma Boka doesn't respect the Constitution. Stanton, he doesn't respect the Constitution. The absence of the Constitution is a way of anarchy. And what happened in this country, and look at what anarchy is prevailing. So for folks like the EFF claiming to be a economic freedom fighter and talking about President Weah is behind the removal of Speaker Kofa. Speaker Kofa said it's criminal. That I can tell you, because you know why I can tell you. You know why I can tell you, because I have the leverage to speak to Speaker Kofa, and you don't. And you don't.
I agree, sir.
So what I would tell you, that this is what the country is going to, and I hope the leader of the EFF in South Africa would denounce the same himself from you, because I know, because my wife is from that region, so I know. So I rest for now.
Thank you, Kev. Thank you very much. But let me bring it in. Let's go back to the legislature. What's going on, the burning, and how did we get here? And I mean, who's responsible? Not that the police investigating, though. I'm not saying call names. So as a political party, the executives, the judiciary, the legislature themselves, which one of those group responsible? But let's hear you. The good, the bad, and the ugly from that end.
From the legislature, the legislature is continuously proving to be a disappointment to the Liberian people. People elected to represent the interests of their districts and counties continue to prove to be a disappointment. People are even contemplating on whether we need this body of people. Those are the conversations people are now having because of the consistent failure of the legislature. Yes, we need a legislature, but we need it in a different way. The legislature, if you see what is coming from the House, lawmakers join together, whether rescue, whether CDC, whether independent, they joined together and created a scheme to bring their relatives and friends on government payroll. Lawmakers' wife, like in the case of the Grand Bassa Representative Thomas Goshua, put his wife on payroll. Lawmaker aware. I'm hearing now that Harrison Conway's daughter is working at FDA, but is also on the payroll in the legislature. Lawmakers are aware that people who are not even working in other places, put their name on the payroll of the legislature, costing over what's the estimated amount per month spending on these people? Up to 169,000 a month. If you check
US.
169,000 USD a month on people, most of whom you check are now working in the legislature. Legislature has become an embarrassment. This needs to be corrected. Regarding the fire incident, let the police investigate while we look at circumstantial evidence. What are the circumstantial, issues that can point to violence in the legislature in recent time? One, the first attempt to pass a resolution to remove Speaker Kofa, we saw a group of lawmakers block the chamber, lock the door, cause confusion, insulted, and fought their colleagues from using the chamber. We saw a group of people did that. Move forward. When the other group went into the joint chamber, we saw again another group of lawmakers went there, removed the chairs. We saw that group of lawmakers. It did not stop there. That same group of lawmakers went again at another section, disrupted their colleagues' activities. When the budget went to the legislature and the majority bloc was about to go and hold session, we saw another group of lawmakers went there, disrupted, bust chairs, and even insulted and beat spoon journalists. So there has been consistent violence in the legislature associated with the group of lawmakers that support Fonati. from blocking their colleagues from going to session, from removing the chairs in the joint chamber, from attacking the joint chamber, from attacking their in session during the budget period. Consistently, violence have been associated with them. And most of their violence have been targeted at the joint chamber, where their colleagues sit. Few days later, that joint chamber got on fire. Any reasonable person, in the absence of evidence, the first group of people you pay attention to will be who have been causing violence here. Where have their violence been targeted at? The group of lawmakers that have been supporting Funati have been causing violence. Their violence have been targeted at the joint chamber. Eventually, the joint chamber is on fire. We wait for the police to investigate so we can establish the cause of the fire and who is responsible. But in the absence of that, the trend of event and the actors associated with them give me reason to believe that they should be the first suspect to call in for investigation.
So thank you very much. And again, it's just good you lay out. That's a lot you just unpack. That's a lot. Let me bring in Isaac though, and then Clinton, since Kev has spoken on this. Isaac, welcome.
Well, thank you, and I hope the fact that you didn't come in up first, you at least allowed me to finish before you got. I just from church, and when I was coming home with anxiety and happiness, I listened to callers. Of course, I counted 7 persons against your 5. But when you come on a platform where you expected about 16 callers to go for Unity Party, 5, according to your count, going against them is a win. Take this show back few months and have people call it. If 20 persons have called, 20 persons who have been for Unity Party. Few months later, 5 persons, according to your count, is against the ideal of Unity Party. It's a win for the people on the other side. And so I came very happy for the fact that the people have now recognized and realized what they have as a country. I want us to go quickly before I end on this House of Representatives or the legislature on the good, the hope, and the bad of the government. To do that, my brother, we have to go back and ask ourselves, why did the Liberian people vote for this government?
Just real quick, though. So you and Clinton switch, right? You're going for the day and you're joining, right?
I don't know. I've not spoken with him, but you don't have to take me off guard. You don't have to take me off guard.
Today, you really want to help mommy. You really, you sorry for mommy.
The Liberian people voted in anticipation of a new direction for Liberia.
The last election result, what was it that you're saying 5 went to
There you go again. There you go again. Where the man tries to speak,
right?
Yeah, but
I told him to ask about. I told him to ask it. I just want to remind our people.
Leave the man. And you keep taking it off course. You don't have
to. Leave the man, my man. Let me speak.
But wait, but I said myself talking to Kev. Where you coming in, sir?
I don't know.
My man will put you in the back.
Yeah,
but Kev, relax. I beg you. I just asked my brother.
Let the man flow.
Kev, wait. I beg you. Isaac, I know you're speaking. Sorry for interrupting you. But I beg you, Isaac, give me just 30 seconds. Amen. And Mame, as per the last election result 2023, the second round, the country is playing. There's nothing changed as to the callers we received today. 16 calls, 5 say CDC, 10 say UP, and 1 person say both parties. What's the difference? How can I claim that as a win for CDC? Not that Joseph Boakai beat you with 98% to 0. You have people in your corner. But make your point. Again, I won't interrupt you.
Right, thank you. And just to quickly pass on that, if you understood me very rightly, I said, take this day few months back and have 20 callers calling. All of the 20 will go for UP against CDC. Few months later, at least 5, according to your count, are going against UP. It's a win, Stanton. When you in time who have had 0, and in no time you having 5, you should know something has changed. And that thing is the reality of governance. But as I was saying before, you try to take me off guard, the people voted for this government in anticipation of a new direction for our country. They voted for this government for a new day. According to them, things that were being done were wrong and bad, so they had to vote for different people who they believed will come in with a new vision. So now, let me tell you the bad of this government in relation to what the people voted and what they are getting today. Stand on. The government, before coming into power, beat on the government that was there and made the Liberians to believe that they were a government that was absolutely against the rule of law. The government came and went after turning position people. Stand up. The government claimed, when they were not a government, that the CDC government did not bring job in our country. Not only did this government not bring a single job over 1 year, they have gone further by dismissing civil servants, thereby taking away jobs. Now, the people did not vote for this government in anticipation that they will do the same thing that the our government was doing. It was because they believe there will be a new direction in our country. That's why they voted for this government. And let me go down here. 3 missing boys. Before coming into power, this government condemned the CDC government, campaigned against the city government, that they were responsible for killing the boys that were missing. The government came to power and reaffirmed the decision reached by the CDC government. That is a bad. And that's what exactly the people voted them for. Cabinet Janet. Not only did this government, unlike what they voted against, that the CDC disrespected the code, continue its disrespect of the code, but they did not even consider Cabinet Janet when Justice Nangbe died. If you claimed that Cabinet was removed unlawfully, that he needed to take back his position, one who has thought that when Justice Nangbe died, the first choice for you who have been Cabinet Janet. But no, in addition, the government continued to refuse to give Cabinet Janet his due salary. That's not what they voted for. And let's go down the issue of drugs. Oh, Kush was the biggest of talks. Not only did this government fail to do anything about the drug epidemic, our past DA officials informed us of an introduction of a new drug in the country. It tells you where the government is. And we now come to the issue of the death of auditors. That was the biggest political campaign slogans for the United Party. Any rational human being will have a thought that the only reason someone will want to kill a person is if that person is trying to expose them. What were the auditors doing before their unfortunate death? They were performing audits that will bring money to the government. Why would a government want to kill anyone that is bringing money to them? Think about it.
Okay, let's move on now.
No, let me end, Stanton. Let me end.
Yeah.
I will soon
Yeah.
end. Give me the minute. I will soon end. Please. At the bottom of it, it was because of mysterious death. People said the auditors died mysteriously. That was the main thing. Where are we today? Sharif, who was in prison and under the jurisdiction of the government, disappeared. Let's move further now. The government said the late EPS officer could never have shot himself 3 times. You know what happened? An AFL officer shot himself, according to the report, 8 times, Stanton. It means this government is going further. And I know you want me to end. I will absolutely end. Let's look at the issue of George Weah appointing Southeasterners to the government. Although Southeastern counties make up of 6 counties, this government has appointed about 51% of its people from a single county, Lofa County. And I know we're going quickly to the issue of private jet. Not only is Joseph Boakai now normalizing the issue of private jet, he is now taking private jet in Liberia itself, as evidenced by his recent trip to Lofa County, despite the fact that rainy season has since gone. And I will end on this. Corruption. We talk about corruption, you beat the government. It's been 1 year now. Not a single person is in jail. The only one person that this government claimed to have indicted, Samuel, the government could not even go to court to prosecute its own case. On the issue of the bad, it tells you that the anticipation of the people is different from what they are getting. The good stuff that you ask about it, there's a good. I want to three. The good is that the government is now thriving on the foundation laid by the CDC, as evidenced by the NCC, as evidenced by being considered for a seat on the UN Security Council. That is the good of the government. They are now furthering things that the CDC laid down and hope for our country. The return of a government of inclusion, the return of a government that respects the law of our country.
Thank you.
They bring joy to the people.
Asido, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And sorry that you came late on the show. So therefore, we're going to close out this round. I'm going to go back to Eman, go back to Mame, go to the phone line to hear from the people in the second round, folks. We got only 6 minutes left. Let's use it wisely. Eman, you listen to us.
Yes, I wish Kev was back on the line. He was talking about EFF, understanding EFF policy. I don't know where Kev came from with that narrative that he understands our politics. I think Kev should be proud that we are the only EFF country in the whole region that brought Madema to Liberia. He should be proud. And we are the only EFF among the 17 because Ghana just joined. We now have the Economic Freedom Fighter of Ghana. Ghana just joined, so we are 17. Out of the 17 African countries that are members of EFF, Liberia is second, the most respected EFF country. So I don't know where Kev coming from with his. We will not pretend like we are not in alignment with the government. I mean, we are in the alliance. We supported the government. We supported President Boakai. We will stand with him. If we realize that the government is not doing well, Kev, and as a door, we'll reassess our relationship with the government. We love Liberia more than we love anyone. So, but for now, we support the government. We are writing our report. Our report will come out in January. We're waiting for the President's State of the Nation address. Our critical 1 year report will come out. Some minister will not like it. Some managing director will not like it. But it is the work of the EFF. So we come out with a report. So, Kev, I beg you, don't push it against the wall. We know what we're doing. Regarding my statement about George Weah removing Speaker Kofa, I maintain that. I have no regret to say that George Weah removed Speaker Kofa. Kev and Asido, elementary political narrative will tell you that George Weah removed Speaker Kofa. You have all the CDC people, and you hear telling me about, George Weah tried to stop it. Why George Weah could not stop all of the CDC lawmakers? Why? And he sat down. He allowed the CDC lawmaker to gang up against Funati Kofa. And you come here, you want us to believe that George Weah is safe or he's innocent in a saga that removed Funati Kofa? No, nobody going to believe that. George Weah participated fully in the removal of Speaker Kofa. He's aware because he never wanted another person in the house that the Guinea theme for 2029. I stopped there.
Mame?
To close, I mean, we started with a good conversation. The House of the Legislature as a body is tending to be a disappointment to the people. Part of the reason is they're not transparent in what they do. They refuse to be accountable. The Senate Commission audit the reports released by the GSC. It points to corruption in the Senate for the last 6 years. Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence received the audit report and nobody hears anything. The LACC and other people, it points to grave corruption, misuse of public resources, awarding contracts to people outside of PPCC, disbursement of funds without receipt to prove that the people actually did the work. LACC, nobody concerned. You come to the legislature, we are seeing the reckless abuse of public resources. Lawmakers from across the aisle bring in their children in their yard, their wives, their friends, who are now working for government. Put them on government payroll and pay them. Just pay them government money. Over 160,000 US a month. It shows that the people are losing faith in spending government money on programs that create sustainable jobs. Rather, they just want to put money in people's pocket. When leaders are thinking that way and believing that they can just put money in people's pocket and not divert those resources into projects that create sustainable jobs, it becomes scaring. That legislature is becoming a burden on the country. We need to reassess how we engage going forward with the legislature. Too much attention on the executive, that is good. We must put equal attention on the legislature. That will help us. Joe Bwaka, good, bad, ugly. Fight against corruption, you fail. You let us down. Whether it is at LTA, whether it is at Central Bank, whether it is at all the other places, you let us down. We are calling on you going forward to show that attitude, because corruption is the only factor standing between Liberia and progress. When you deal with it, your country will be happy.
Thank you very much. Yakansi, can you come? Let's take just 15 calls real quick. Then we close the show. Mama, we'll kind of do our closer. Let's take the calls real quick. I say everybody will get the final closing. I beg you.
Can I get 1 minute?
Yeah. I say I beg you because it's already we got only 1 minute to take quick. I say I beg you. Let's do it on our closing, my brother. I beg you. I say please. Yeah, I beg you, bro. You can see 15 calls just from Liberia itself. I mean, that's the last call for tonight. On everything you just heard. Again, thank you folks for joining us and sharing the show. A wonderful program, quiet program today. Let's take the calls, then we'll come and do our closing.
It concerned me because I didn't partake on the second round. Just
yeah. People heard you. You can see that open the phone line. You can see I'm going to take 5 from my end, okay? And you can take some. Okay. Your name and where you joining us from?
This is Fanny Buffalo calling from Pennsylvania.
Hey, V, go ahead and talk to us.
Yeah, the first point I want to make, I said do always come in late, then he reports the show. All that time I said do wasted. It was unnecessary extension. You gotta be, straight with the show. If he wants to go back to election, every time accuse people of being in the election mood and blah blah. I said do need to find people to sit down.
Okay, so make your point, Ali. I said do it. Make your point. Let's go to the issue.
My point here is Emmanuel Gongwe are saying, I believe that we can now compare. We have 1 year government to that of Joseph Baka 1 year government. Number 2, Emmanuel Gongwe, clearly stated that it will be removed. That's my point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Let me take my second one here. Your name? Where you joining us from?
This is Wesley calling from South Dakota.
Talk to us, my friend.
Good evening, everybody. Look, Mr. Waterspoon, it's a disappointment to the Liberian people to see Mr. Emmanuel coming on the show is spelling out what he is spelling out. When something is wrong, and you try to back it up, make it look right, it is bad, and that is why it's carrying our country backward. That is why our people suffer for. And thank you, Spoon, and thank you, Stanton. Most of the time you come and you speak the truth. And for that, one of those that went hard for Unity Party to come and power today, but right now to speak, you want the ugliest man within the Unity Party around because you speak the truth. And I will encourage you to do that, and I will encourage the rest of the panelists, when they come on the show, stick to the issue and say what is bothering the Liberian people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will take the tail one from my end. Your name and where you joining us from? Your name and where are you joining us from? Hello?
Yes, this is Calabo.
I beg you, Calabo, can you go ahead? We really don't have enough time, sir.
All right, quickly, let me say, here's my point. I listen to Mame. I think Mame made a striking point on this. The Unity Party and the CDC are a total failure in the governance of the country and must admit it. As though Kim narrated all of the things that Unity Party is doing under them, but the same thing happened under George Weah. The 12 years of Unity Party, George Weah came for 6 years. He repeated the same thing that Unity Party did. After 6 years, Unity Party came, they are doing the same thing. These people play both, they read from the same playbook. They have no idea. I'm surprised that a progressive economic freedom fighters of Africa, Emmanuel Gongo, is in bed with this decadence group. I'm actually surprised.
Thank you. Thank you. My last call for tonight from my end. Your name and where you joining us from? Talk to us, Jerry.
CEO, I would let us suggest we need to close the capital building down for emergency. Because the capital building is at an obstacle in Liberia to admit. Can you imagine some of them men were changing money? For example, like Sapoko, who were changing money. You made a man lawmaker. Where do we get for out of the two? I can see all around the place is sorting. No, we need to close the capital building down. Thank you.
Thank you. Just do $1.05, okay? From Liberia, if someone took 5 from here, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Emmanuel, thank you for coming, though. We really appreciate you. Go ahead, Yakizi.
Okay. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from?
Well, my name is Akedo. And I keep joining from Bavarian.
Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you for the show. I just appeared in Congo. I want to ask you 2 questions. You appeared on the asset recovery team. What are the assets they recover because we get the tax money? And secondly, you made a charity concern about the removal of the illegally that Georgia plays, It's a Georgia that hold the people in power. It's no men that were elected by the people. No men, they had their own questions. Nobody can consider what they were receiving because they receive black. And Georgia looking for poor life and we see that opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello, your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, guys, this is Eric King. I'm joining you from my resident in Stendote.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me disagree with Congo when you say President Weah is aware of the speaker removal, but the speaker are not yet been removed. That I know for a fact. President Weah will not do no such thing to Speaker Kofa because Speaker Kofa do not have any intent of running for office come 2029. He has said he's going to retire for politics and be with his family. So what will it cause President Weah to go and remove the Kofa? What benefit does the CDC stand to benefit if Kofa is removed from his speakership? CDC got nothing to benefit. We can't remove our own speaker for the sake of Unity Party, who is highly corrupt, who have robbed the country in everything.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello, your name and where you join us from?
This is the voice of Peter Sign. I join you from Falkland District 4.
Go ahead.
On the issue of the capital building crisis, we got one leader, one president in Liberia. We got every government in Liberia is a regime that is held by the executive, and the executive is held by the president. The president got a legacy. After the 6 years, the president will be ICE. Former will be ICE. George Weah is the former president. Let's agree that George Weah is behind what will happen in like the way we go speaker. It's about the temper of some other regime. And we learn that everybody have, lawmakers who are among the other people. If indeed this president is not part of it, why could he show leadership and call him lawmakers and look, guys got work to do? We got legacy to set, we got development to be carried on. If this continue and still our developmental agenda, let us get back there to job and go to Funati and do a good job.
Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello, your name and where you join us from?
I guess it is Patrick Beer and I call you from Shoe Patrick.
Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, What my brother Emmanuel no Gongwo just said, actually, he never supposed to link on state radio that day or somewhere, and to say that about the against Joshua because he has, proof or something to say that. But for the branding of that capital building, for me, I will put it on the judiciary for how they gave their interpretation and confuse everybody. So thank you for the next.
Thank you. Let's talk to the last person. Hello.
Hello.
Please lower the volume of the radio. Let's hear you.
Yeah.
Let's replace it, please. Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. Let's hear you.
All right, man. You better just have smooth for me from the Commander Push Island. Come on, call 540.
So go ahead.
Oh, yeah, guys, let me say thank you. The brand of the Capitol building are blaming the entire 73 not going in a place there, the House of Representatives. No, Speaker Kopa started on the TV radio station. He told us that because they are putting budget, carrying the board of our party, taking the illegal and stealing is against the constitution, against their own rules. I challenge after go and that of Chair to read the host any rule, chapter 12, rule 40, the host code of conduct. They say these people should be free of corruption. They should not say kind of corruption in their rules. They should be have procedure dignity. Go and read it. I challenge any lawmaker to call and say what I'm saying. It's not part of their hosting rule. No, let me tell you. I said though. No, librarian with a year of voice, you get angry with you. You are deputy minister for youth and sport. What the youth program you post seven, I challenge you to tell me any setup, ranging from agriculture, any setup like your bill that the government have broken down in 1 year time.
Thank you. CEO.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for a wonderful show today. Again, to our brother Emmanuel Gangwe, thank you a lot for joining us. To Clinton, thanks Clinton. To Mame, thanks Mame. But Gangwe, we're going to give you the first shot because we understand that you got to do your closing. It's always good having you come again, my brother. You can close, sir. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. Let me say thank you for the invite. Thanks to those who called. The disagreement is healthy for our democracy. We will continue to do what we can do to help the government move forward. Like I said, CEO, look, the EFF is not in the pocket of any individual. The day we realize that as an institution, that this government is tracking on the promises made to the Liberian people to the extent that undermines our party value system, we will reassess our relationship with the government and we'll take our exit. We are not in the pocket of anybody. But as a stand, we are on a moral and political responsibility to help the government succeed. And that's what we are doing. We hope that the government will listen to some of the critical suggestions we made. We hope that we can continue to unify our forces. We hope that we can continue to remember the campaign promises we made. We hope that some of the campaign promises we made, like CTM and MedTech. I'm disappointed that we still have CTM. I'm disappointed that we still have Method around because those were deals that we criticized and promised the Liberian people that when we come to power, we will get them out. Today, they are still around the corridor. I'm disappointed. The EFF is disappointed. But again, we have to keep going in-house, pursuing quiet diplomacy, engaging the president until we get to a point where we realize that, okay, the government or the president is not willing to listen. Then we will reassess our relationship and move forward. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you very much, Eben, man. Have a good evening. We appreciate you. Thanks, sir. All right. Again, don't forget, that's the EFFL. Can you say something about this party?
You really hit me today. You hit me today.
Can you say something about the party, the organization, real quick before you go?
Come again?
The EFFL.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the next plan now for you guys?
Well, so we are writing our first year report on the government. The title of the report is Mystery and Hope. So we are writing a report, and then we are also working on, and the report is placed in different categories. We are looking at ministers, who badly performed. We are looking at, managing director who badly performed, and we're going to make a recommendation in our report to the president, in giving our own thought on how the reshuffle should be. That report is coming up. A lot of government officials will not like that report. We are also planning our national convention because the EFF in South Africa just concluded our national convention, elected new cooler officers. So we in Liberia will be planning our national convention early next year. We wanted to have had that convention this year, but because this is the first year of the government, everybody advised that we push the convention to next year. So maybe by March we should be able to have our convention and then come up with new leadership of our party. At that convention, we then reassess the government performance and make a political report to our team across the country that will be gathering at that convention. It is from that political report that the team will decide how we stream down our relationship with the government. We are a very organized political organization, one of the most organized political organizations in the country. So
Emmanuel, can I ask you a quick question before you end?
Yeah,
quick. Let's on quick. The government accused you of double dipping. Can you talk about that, please? On your ending statement.
Today I want to with Hassan. Still what is okay, show me what they call double dipping. What is double dipping?
Oh, you are getting checks from different agencies.
I challenge anybody in this government, anywhere for that matter, to show me where I took money from this other government entity and took money from the other government. I challenge anybody.
So Kev, before Gonglo go, can I just close? I want him to be on before him. I don't want him to go, please. Gonglo, you said some good things. I want to appreciate you for those things. I want to believe that's your belief. That's what you're saying it, and that's the position of the EFFL. Well, that wouldn't be surprised at all. You said that President Weah ordered the removal of Kofa. Now, let's give it to you. That's not my argument. That's your argument. It's okay for that to be your argument. We want to appreciate that. This only tells me that Gonglo, you and the EFFL believe that despite President Wakai being the president of Liberia, it is George Weah who is calling the shot of our country.
No.
Again, no, let me end. Let me end now. You end. Let me end. No, let me end.
No, don't do that.
Let me end.
Don't do that.
Because if George Weah, who is not the president of Liberia, will be so powerful that he will order the removal of the speaker despite the fact that Joseph Boakai is the president, it tells me that you and the EFL believe that George Weah is calling the shot in our country. You also talked about the issue, let me end. You also talked about the issue where George Weah did not return in the country. Thank you again, my brother. President Boakai took Kofa to Rome. When they got there, chaos reigned in Liberia. President Boakai did not return because of the chaos, but you personally believe that the only person whose return mattered was George Weah. It tells me that you today see George Weah as the president of Liberia in the face of Joseph Boakai being president. You also say why it said that CDC lawmakers are there and George Weah cannot call them. Oh, my brother, I agree with you. But let's look at it this way. United Party lawmakers are also part of the chaos. All of them. President Boakai.
Let me correct you on that. No, let me correct. I'm not going to allow you to land with this. Let me correct you on that.
I'm quoting you. No, don't correct me.
No, let me correct you. Let me correct you.
President Boakai.
Will you please give me a chance?
President Boakai could not even convince one United Party lawmaker to get out of the chaos. But you believe the only person who had that power to convince their lawmakers is George Weah. It tells me, my brother, that you and the EFFL believe that without George Weah, Liberia will not be a country of peace.
And that's going to defeat your. That is a mindset. That is a mindset that going to defeat. No, that is a mindset. As you do, I'm going to defeat you guys in 2029.
But I said, wait now. You said a lot. Let the brother answer you. I said let the answer. Yeah, but I said wait. Let the brother answer. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They may
The
have
legislature,
go ahead.
Isaac, the legislature is a political theater. The Unity Party became a beneficiary of your internal crisis. They were watching your crisis and became beneficiary of your crisis.
Definitely, I'll respond.
Are you telling me that Bwaka personally influenced all of the CDC lawmakers to go against Funatikofa? Are you telling me that the CDC lawmakers are so indisciplined that they don't respect their party principles and value system? That Unity Party president completely to go against Speaker Kofa? That's what you're saying on the show? Are you saying you run a very indisciplined political institution that your member cannot take instructions? That's what you're saying?
So
Maybe
you
that's
see,
what you're trying to tell the
you are
Liberian people.
confirming exactly.
Let him finish. No, guys, let him finish. Let him finish.
You have a political institution. You have a political leader. I gave you an example. We as an institution, EFF, the president went to cabinet meeting and made a decision. It's just an example. Made a decision that those who are appointed in the face of the ombudsman, you either have to accept your party position or accept the government position. We came internally as a party, disciplined. We allow our chairman, who struggled a lot for the party, to resign. We allow our vice chair to resign simply because we wanted to remain disciplined. So are you saying to me and the Liberian people that you have a party leaders, you have lawmakers that are not disciplined, that can't listen to George Weah? That's what he's saying to us tonight?
Okay, stay down. 1 minute. Stay down 1 minute. Mara, let me say to you, you did place the call to Speaker Kofa, right? Accusing George Weah, right?
What I call Speaker Kofa?
Forget about what the
wait, Isaac,
I can talk to anybody in the country. I can talk to anybody. Speaker Kofa is a leader. I'm the leader of the country. Everybody can speak to anybody. That's no issue.
You did place the call, right?
What I place the call?
Yeah, you placed the call to Speaker
Kofa.
Kofa.
I know what you want me to come on the radio and say I call Speaker Kofa. What's my enemy?
Email want to say thank you. We gotta go, guys. We gotta go. It's 11:20 in Liberia.
I get a message.
Okay, Kev, we gotta go. Email, we will definitely talk to you again. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. We want to say thanks to all of our many followers. Thanks to the entire Spoon Network team. We appreciate everything and many more thanks to you guys that follow us every day. You call in, you make the show so interesting. We appreciate you. Tomorrow is Monday, the last Monday in 2024. Again, that will be the last Tuesday in 2024. Then we'll be entering New Year Day. Whatever it is, please be safe, drive safe, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the beautiful show. We got more information on our brother Bill Magid Jones and the finance ministry. On the Bigger Spoon Talk, we'll be digging deeper. We'll be bringing you more documents to substantiate the allegation made on Bill Magid Jones. So again, and Paul Lamine as well. I can say today, I spoke to Abdul Sharif, the gentleman whose company received a $244,000 United States contract. I spoke to him today, and again, I will be speaking to him again. But we got more documents. It was okay for he said, "Listen, you can announce that you talked to me." So that's not a secret. But we got to focus on Ministry of Finance Development Planning. A lot of corrupt behavior, corruption is taking place, and we got to actually dig deeper. Till we meet again. May God bless you. May God keep you, and may God save our state. Thank you very much, Kev Hassan. Thanks for joining. Yekezi, as always, man, I appreciate you. At least today, you didn't sleep. So I will say, Pabwa, I hope either man, evil man. Have a good night. Yes, sir.
All right, see you. So, folks, that's it. It's been a wonderful time here. You can join us tomorrow. Join us Spoon Talk tomorrow at 8:30
for another edition of the program. My name is Yekezi Zobel, bidding you a pleasant goodbye from Odious Congo Town in Minerva, Liberia. Bye-bye.
Spunk gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spunk gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you know.